Sips, it is in the contract, the legal requirement every single time we appear on camera. Here we are. We are watching the Mac live stream. We're going to do some commentary for that event. It is late here in Adelaide. It is the middle of the night. It's 2 a.m. But I want us to support the Mac guys and watch their event. They are trying a few different things with their arm wrestling promotion. And I was very, very interested to see how it would play out. They've got a whole bunch of matches on the card. And yeah, I'll bring them up first, actually. There's a little bit of a rush here because we weren't sure this was going to go ahead with the commentary style of things. But I thought, why not? I'll jump on and give everything a crack. And here we go. You can see there's 12 matches on this card coming up for Mac. It should be a lot of fun. And they've got a couple of different things that they're doing for their design for this promotion. The table is very different. It is almost like a freedom sort of arm wrestling table where you don't have your traditional square pads that are sitting on top of the table. It's more very flat and the table is actually curved. So when competitors are putting their elbow down, they have the ability to sort of slide in a very large area. I believe it's 9 inches by 9 inches for the square. And the pin pads are a little different as well. It's interesting to see how it's going to play out. They do also have a different set of rule structures with their straps, where all matches will start in straps unless the competitor asks so that they Mr. Paul Italia. Speaking of which, here he is, one of the legends of arm wrestling, one of the best promoters going around, Paul Italia Promotions. And great to see you on here. We're just talking about the Mac event, which is just about ready to start. They've finished the prelims and they've lined up 12 matches on the card. So we've purchased the event and we hope that a lot of other people will jump in and purchase it as well. You can see the lineup of the matches right there. That's their stream sort of sitting the banner ads replaying in the background there. Obviously, it won't be playing that. If you want to see the event, you'll need to purchase it. You won't see it here. But yeah, so moving on to the matchups. Actually, I wanted to finish talking about the strap setups that they've got. So all the matches will start in straps unless the competitors specifically ask and say, no, I want to start outside of straps. And to which I believe if you slip after you've made that request, they're not going to be too happy with you because you're wasting time. That's one of the things that they've done very cleverly with this is that they have gone, where do we find all the dead air times in arm wrestling? When from a viewership perspective, how can we get people to watch the event and enjoy the event in a better way, or how can we improve on the current system of arm wrestling that we have at the moment, which does have a lot of dead air time. It has a lot of time where you're sort of sitting back, waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting, and then they finally are about to go, and then they get an elbow foul, or they get a this, or they do something else, and they restart it, and then they slip, and then they go to strap, and you're sitting there like, oh God, when are they going to do the arm wrestling part of this arm wrestling event? White Wolf, good to see you here. I saw you in the other stream, the prelim stream. But yeah, I'm not sure if you've purchased the pay-per-view or not. It is at prestream.com. You can jump over there. If you want, you can use the discount code Aussie. I'm not sure if you will, but but it is available there for people if they want. That is obviously a Jake Ward code reference. But yes, it is available. Prestream.com is where the event will be streaming. And we've got White Wolf in here. He says, Paul, obviously Tall Paul has jumped in here as well. There's that Mr. Matt Wolf and Paul. There we go. Tall Paul, 6'6", although he seems to think he might have dropped down to 6'5" due to age, and he's back. It's so good when we've got the arm wrestling community in these chats and we can just have a lot of fun. And that's sort of the reason I wanted to go live, was because it's like, well, I'm going to be watching the event. And we were just watching it on Jake's channel, or you're watching it on Matthias's channel. And, you know, the prelims are free. Obviously, they were streaming that. And you've got maybe 80 people that are arm wrestling fans, obviously, and I'm guessing probably not all of them are going to be purchasing the pay-per-view, but they maybe want to hang out and find out what the results are, or just be chatting about arm wrestling in general as the event sort of takes place. And that's why I thought, hey, look, I'll go live. I'll give everyone the ability to have a place to come and to talk and to chat, and that's what we'll do here. So yes, man, says Tall Paul. And White Wolf says, hey there, Tall. Hope all is well, mate. Yep. And Fox 8 Ball, Matty. Oh, says Fox 8 Ball. Good to see you, sir. As always, Fox 8 Ball. What's up, guys? To White Wolf. Yes, so good to actually be able to put a lot of faces to these names. I was so glad to go along to the event, the Arm Gods event over in Ireland and Valhalla, and meet people like Marcus Thompson and White Wolf and Paul Maiden and Connor Sale and Matt Smith, and all the guys are on the card, and all the fans, and all the not only the competitors that you get to watch in these amazing matches, but to meet all the people that are also fans, and then maybe they've watched my stuff, and it's where's the flex? Matt says, well, there I've already done it, Fox, but I'll do it again just because I love doing it. But yeah, to meet everyone, it was fantastic. And of course, it seems to be that everyone in this community of people, of arm wrestlers, is absolutely wonderful, lovely people. And that tradition held true when I went over to Ireland. Everyone was friendly and kind and funny, and had a fantastic time. And it's one of those things when you get on the table with people, everyone wants to sort of feel how strong you are, but then they're very kind, as in, like, if they're way better than you are, it's like, oh, maybe they'll be showing you what you can do to be better. And if you're stronger than somebody else, maybe you're doing the same for them. It's like, oh, you feel strong there, maybe if you do this, it would feel better. So there's so many different things that you can do in arm wrestling, but everyone seems to support each other, which is fantastic to see. Tall Paul says, how Mr. Fox, I do wear cowboy boots, Wolf. Those are my Harley boots. All right. I'm calling you Count Sepula. That's great. I like that. Yes. Well, I like the split that's been coming in quite nicely there in the bicep. I don't do anything specific for that, by the way. That's purely genetic. I've had a few people say, how do you get that split in your bicep? I'm like, well, you do exactly the same as what everyone else does and hope that it happens. But we're just waiting on the Mac event to start. It looks like the stream. Mac, I'm just going to bring that up again. I'm not sure if this is in order here. I'm pretty sure the main event is the first one there, Alan Ford versus Brandon ELLSESSOR. I'm fairly sure that is the main event. So they're probably starting at number 12, which is Ray Dalton and Jayden Cook on right arm. And we've got Jeff Radford and John Brownwell on left. Mike Gould versus Joe YAROSZ. And we've got JJ Jackson versus Matt Fish. There's a lot of these guys I haven't heard of before, but the good thing about that is I'm not going to be going into these matches with any preconceived notions as to what style they have or how the match is going to play out, which is kind of fun because you get to sort of, it's almost like a tournament, when you're in an arm wrestling tournament and you go up against your opponent, you have no idea what they're going to be doing. It's only when you actually grip their hand or watch it the way they're standing, it's like, oh, I think this guy's going to press, or I think he's going to be a hooker, or he feels strong there, So it's almost like that for me here doing this commentary. There's a lot of these guys I haven't heard of before, but it should be a lot of fun because we can jump in and sort of explain, oh, maybe this guy's doing this, or and find the interesting parts about what it is that's interesting with these certain pullers. Then we're moving up to Dakota Shipton and Matt Wilds. I did hear that Dakota is a young, well-spoken guy, has his own podcast. I believe he's Canadian. I might get that wrong, but a few guys were quite excited about seeing that matchup. Brandon ELLSESSOR, of course, we all know him. He's a very experienced puller, and he is going to be featuring in the main event. And it looks like he's also doing a left-handed match here against Tyler BOLZAN. Yeah, one of those things. What do you think in the chat? Doing a right hand and a left handed match on the same card. I don't think it's ever really worked out well for people. I'm trying to think of any example where somebody has just won both of those, by doing a left hand and a right hand. We had Artem Taranenko. He came over for AWE2. He did a left-handed match against Mario Timbakis, but he lost that one, and then he also lost against Ryan Bowen a bit later. It does seem a little like you're going, even if you win comfortably and get a 3-0 or 4-0 or whatever, you're still using a decent amount of energy. And then if you're going to have a more difficult match later, or a match on your right arm later, that you might have pre-exhausted yourself leading into it. So I don't know. I never think it's a great idea. Probably good in terms of being able to find more exposure for yourself. But yeah, I don't know. I think you're either going to pick one or the other. I'm not a fan of doing both on the same event. And it doesn't look like there's that much time difference between the first and the second match for him. I mean, he's sixth. So there's 12 matches in total. You got Brandon ELLSESSOR doing a left-handed match, 6 matches in, and then there'll be 5 more until he's back on the table against Alan Ford, which is going to be a tremendous main event. And Alan Ford is not somebody you want to be taking lightly. I would almost feel like Brandon's like, don't pre-exhaust yourself in a left-handed match, especially if it's a war. But that's the way that it's played out here, and we'll see if Brandon can pull it off. That's the best thing. If he does manage to get a win on left and on right, you'd walk away from that event feeling pretty damn good. We've got Shawn CROWTHER versus Jason Constantini on right and left. Oh, okay. I wonder how they're going to play that out, whether it's going to be a first to 3 on both right and left, like straight away, or I don't know. I guess we'll find out when we get there. Josh BELLIN versus Rick Heidebrecht, and Evan BOURGOIN, who we saw on the prelims. He will be going against John Brownwell, and Dave MORROCCO versus JANEK KWAIS on the right as well. That'll be the co-main event. But Alan Ford and Brandon ELLSESSOR will be the main event of the evening. Probably a few hours from now. They are predicting that this will flow very quickly and very nicely because of the rule sets that they've put up in place, that they're going straight to strap. So they've eliminated the slip. The rule set of the grip is very much a close your thumbs, close your hands, go style, and just trying to speed things up in terms of getting rid of that dead air time, which I'm a fan of. I'm not a fan of the dead air time. I'm a fan of skipping the dead air time. Had the stream stop twice on me so far. I'm hoping that's not going to be a pattern that's going to continue. But we'll jump back here to the full screen. And let me catch up on the comments here at the same time. I forgot where we're up to, but where are we? Do you have any issues with your Harley boots leaking oil? That's great. What else we got here? Tall Paul. I put mink oil on them and it melts right off. Very clever. See, I'm not gonna fall for these ones, Fox. This is that game that I had to learn to slightly pre-read as I'm saying comments, because I don't want to get caught out with this. Obviously, you're trying to get me to say huge anus, but that's just not going to happen today, mate. But I've seen it, I've spotted it. He's so jacked, he must be on gear. Must be, absolutely. Yes, of course. If you do get me to say a funny name, and it's got to be a pretty odd, like you can't be like, oh, that was a mixture of letters that's how it works. If you do manage to get me to trick me in, I will send you a t-shirt. So Fox has tried there, but it didn't work. Still waiting on the Mac event. I'm gonna double check it every now and then. The Schmo is here. Hello to the Schmo. I think I missed your comment actually, and no, there it is. Well, it's coming back. There we go. Schmo. Oh, that's my Fox 84 talking to the Schmo. I keep going to load the Schmo's comment and it keeps disappearing. Not anymore. Now that's made in China. Okay. White Wolf. Matthias had the itinerary broken down on his live feed in the description below. Right. Yes, I did put a list of the matches in my description as well as a link to the stream. There is a code word there, which you can or choose to use, which will get you a discount. Prestream.com is the website they are running the pay-per-view through. Matthias is crazy. He tried to double lead Matawarengi. Yes, he probably didn't move. Matawarengi being 165 kilos of solid Maori. So I don't think that would have worked out too well for Matthias there. Yeah, the Chinese won't part with any more oil that they have to. Very smart. Fox 8 Ball. Left and right on the same card is okay if you pull the same guy, I suppose. Well, that's what we've got. Let me bring this up again here. So there was a match, number 5, SHAWN, CROWTHER, and Jason Constantini, right and left. So this is, from what I can see, they're doing exactly what you've suggested there in your comment. Right and left on the same card is okay if you pull the same guy. Well, that's what's happening right there in that 5th match. I'm not sure if that's going to be like straight after the other, or if they're going to swap, like, okay, we'll do a right arm, now we'll do a left arm. Well, I guess we'll find out when we get to it. Interesting, though. Mr. Schmo. What have we got here? White Wolf. White Wolf. Yeah, I think I playfully tried to get Matty in a headlock, but he was just way, way, way too far around. Yes, he is an enormous man. Why are you guys trying to wrestle with the biggest guy around? Of all people to do it to, it's like, let me pick that guy, the one who's 3 people wide. Why? It's because it's Arm Gods, that's why. I believe Travis Bagent will want to clean up that Brandon ELLSESSOR match soon. Yeah, absolutely. Well, Travis, what has he got? He's got a match coming up. Was it East versus West qualifiers or something? Who is he going against? Is it against Brandon? No, I can't remember, actually. I just remember seeing Travis on the poster, and I was like, oh, he's coming back. So great to see. And anytime you get to see Travis Paul, it's always fun. It's got his own gravity field. He is a big man. Well, a fantastic match seeing James Stewart and Matawarengi Heidebrechts go against each other. James Stewart obviously being another enormous young man. And yeah, that first round he was able to get the pin, but Matawarengi's experience and sort of overtook the ability that James had to win that match. James still relatively new to the arm wrestling world. He does have a good match lined up against Dean Bolt on left. I believe it's on left. Coming up in June the 11th, June the 15th. I can't remember exact dates, but I'm very much looking forward to it. Dean is obviously the man I did the commentary with on the Arm Gods event for the tournament over there. Fantastic guy. A very funny young man. So looking forward to seeing him on the table. SHAWN CROWTHER is the future. Dude's a beast. He pulls out of Matt Mask's club. SHAWN CROWTHER. Okay, let's see. Who's Shawn going up against here? Jason Constantini. Okay, that's the right and left match. All right, fantastic. Looking forward to seeing that. And, oh, I think that's stopped again, that stream. There we go. They did say it would be about 20 minutes before they started between prelims and the main pay-per-view. So I'm just sort of sitting, waiting for that to go. Just going to make sure I'm on the right one. There is 2 video links there, and if you can see what I'm doing, actually, let me put that up so you can see what I'm doing. So this is what I'm looking at. So that's your prelim there, which is already finished. And that is the stream, which I believe is the pay-per-view. So I might actually leave both of them going so that I know that I'm watching the right one when it comes up. Again, I won't have these playing live when we start, because otherwise I would be robbing the guys of their pay-per-view, and I'm not going to be doing that. But yes, prestream.com is the website that you can go to get the pay-per-view up and running. The Schmo. Wolf is right, but after some Guinness, he's a little Tasmanian devil. Oh, I can imagine. Yes, well, there was a lot of drinking went on during those 4 or 5 days that I was in Ireland, which is, if you're going to do it anywhere, that's where you want to be doing it. Ryan is here. Hello to you, Ryan. I'll give you a double biceps there. Actually, I'll bring it big so you can see properly. There you go. Ugh. It's just gonna be 2 hours of me flexing, but Fox 8 ball, Fox 8 ball again, Mister. Oh, he's saying hello to Ryan as well. White Wolf says Sean has been with Wild Horse in Red Deer for quite a few years. Great to see him on the table today, right and left. Can't wait to see it. There's that Ryan. I don't know why the house emoji got there. You know, sometimes I'm casting this through a program called Restream, and sometimes the emojis my favorite thing is when they give a description of the emoji instead of just putting the emoji. They'll be like, "Girl with both arms up crying." It's like, okay, that's great. Yes, I can see. Yeah, that's very good, Fox. No t-shirt for you today. Oh, come on. You guys are making it too easy. Yes, a man. A man. Yeah. Very good, White Wolf. White Wolf. Very nice. You can try. You're not going to get me on these. These are too easy. These are old Simpsons ones. Wolf is a great dude. He gives half his money to charity. Very nice. He is a great guy, and he helped out tremendously over in Armed Gods. Saw him setting up, taking things down the whole weekend. He was doing everything and anything he could to make the Armed Gods event run smoothly, and I think he was a valued member. And I know that Marcus and Paul were very happy to have him there. Yeah, days and days of effort from White Wolf, and he flew himself all the way over there. So tremendous man. That makes sense to me. Than pulling different people. It does. Yes, pull the same guy if you're going left and right. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see how Brandon pulls out today. Whether he can do a left and a right match and be successful. But yeah, I never think it's a great idea. The Schmo, when she isn't working, she gives the other half to Destiny. All right. Travis will only go a little while and then go back to football. Yeah, so let me get this correct. So the Travis's son is doing really well with the NFL. Is that how it's working there, or he has an opportunity to step into the NFL? Or I've heard that Travis is involved in the football world quite significantly via his son. I'm not sure exactly what the details are, but I believe that's where his focus has been, is ensuring that his son gets the best opportunities that he can. So arm wrestling has been on the back burner because of that reason. God's Army are crazy people. No harm, just having some fun and making people feel welcome like our brothers. That was a tremendous time. It was fantastic. It is left. Okay, great. There you go. Yes, the Arm Gods chant there. I still don't know how to say that word. Slancha? I don't know. I had Marcus Thompson record it and send it to me because I was like, I don't know how to say that word that you guys keep saying. And he said it, and I listened and I tried, and I forgot it 20 seconds later. I don't know. Slancha? I don't know. It just means cheers, I believe. Not quite half, and only the arm wrestling channels that I like. Well, there you go. You can't give it to me because I'm not monetized. So you can keep your money for today, White Wolf. Hearing stuff on the channel. No, nothing yet. Still just playing some music. Might be running a little bit behind. That's okay. This big Barrett's on the card. Well, the card is here. Let me move it so you can see. Card is here. So Barrett's, I don't see his name. And I'm not sure if he was on the prelims, but I'm not seeing him there. Let me come back to this one here. All right. Is that pronator muscle starting to get big, Matt? Says Tall Paul. It is. Let me move your comment so you can figure out a way you can see this. Well, that for me is where I get this crazy muscle that seems no one has. Obviously, you know, your pronator is going to be around there somewhere. Devin Larratt's obviously the king of that. But this, if everyone can sort of see that lump thing there. When I first, which way can I turn it so you can see? No, that's not going to work either. I'm going to shot my other arm. Not perfectly, but you can sort of see that there. Anyway, the first time I noticed that, I thought that I had broken my arm because it was this big lump on my arm, right? You can sort of see it. And I was like, what is this? What is this lump? Have I hurt myself? Is this a bone that's like sticking out here? And I remember I was looking up like anatomy on like forearm anatomy on Google Images just to see like, is there a bone there? Like I was getting people to push it and they're like, well, it doesn't feel like a bone. And I'm like, I don't know what this is. No one else had it. But yeah, I guess it's just from constantly, you know, under a lot of tension, that turning, it seems to activate that there, but whatever. Fox 8 Ball. Is this another funny name you're going to try and get me to say here? Yeah, okay. From Venezuela. Oh, well, I know how much you follow your Venezuelan arm wrestling over there, Fox 8 Ball. No t-shirt for you. Yeah, Travis's son Tyson is getting ready to start his second year in the NFL. Oh, fantastic. He's already in. That's great. Sweden Arm Wrestling Television says, what's up, everyone? Hello to you. Sweden Arm Wrestling Television. We are just waiting on the MAC event to start, which we're going to have a look at their first event. Major Arm Wrestling Championship is what MAC stands for. They've got a few different ideas, different table setups, different ideas on how they're going to run their event. So very excited to see how it's going to go. They're just waiting to get their pay-per-view up and running. You can see it at prestream.com is the link. I'll put that link in the description there as well. Just going to get the comments. It scrolls up really fast, so I've just got to make sure that I'm on the right area. I don't know how to pronounce it either. I say it the same way as you, Matt. Solancha. Yeah, well, hey, if two of us are doing it, it must be right. White Wolf Slasher. You nailed it, mate, just now. Oh, there you go. Perfect. We'll say that's correct. That's the way you say it. Yes. Is it Gaelic? I don't know where that started from. It must have been from Marcus. My body got you. Big bear ass. You didn't get me. When? What are you talking about? Big bear ass? No. I didn't see it. Mr. Sweden, I'm still jealous because you get to train with Victoria and Carolina. Well, lucky Mr. Sweden. Hello, mate. The tan is looking good. Oh, thank you very much, Phil. Yes, thank you for creating that. What was it? The poll on your Instagram as to who had a better tan out of me, Ryan, and Lachlan. And then was it the Eric Pride's call on me, the lead aerobics instructor girl, who I believe won. But every time I checked it, I was ahead of Ryan. I kept screenshotting it and sending it to him. But then the last time I looked, I was last. I was like, "I'm not screenshotting and sending that one." Oh, the pro data getting bigger. Yeah, that's it. Oh, it's the top roll. I am a terrible presser. I can't do it. I understand how to press. I know the mechanics of it and how it looks and how it should work. I just can't do it for crap. I feel absolutely useless. And I'll get somebody that's brand new that into the club, and I'll be explaining, so this is top roll, this is where you hook, and your press is like this, and I'll be like, let me just try it here, and I'll be like, ah! And they're like, oh yeah, I can see, and I'm like, God damn it, I'm terrible at pressing. I don't know, it just doesn't seem to work for me. Da, 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 da. Phil Woody, also another fantastic guy I got to meet in Ireland at the Arm Gods event. I seen Man in the shower. He looks like the He-Man cartoon. What were you doing in the shower? Was it the sword? It must have been the sword. Just can't open a skin flap and show us that muscle. Yeah, well, it's at a really bad angle to try to. It's like it's there, so it's like, yeah. I don't want the show. I just enjoy the challenge. I don't think you got me. When did you get me? Which name? I didn't remember hearing saying a silly name. I pointed out there was a couple of attempts, but oh, it sounds like the event is starting. I'm just gonna check to make sure that it is going. Yes, we have the event is just kicking off. It looks like the MC is just started talking, so I'll let them run through their thing. I'll start sort of covering the matches when they start, but at the moment it looks like they're just sort of chatting through what's going on. Fox 8 Ball is told his press is good, but I never go there. Is that due to your elbow, uh, Fox? A lot of people, when they start, especially the first 6 months, if they feel naturally strong like that, they want to be an inside puller, especially if they're going to be pressing. It seems to get a problem with their elbow right there. I think it's usually like when they get into a strong press position, they're okay if everything is lined up and biomechanically they go through. But you see what happens with newer people is when they're trying to get into that spot, they tend to do this, like they'll push side pressure, like just bang. And if they're doing that against somebody else that's really pulling hard against them, all that pressure seems to go straight into their elbow joint. And so many of our pullers have had injuries there. Um, I've never had an injury there. Mine has always been on the bicep and wrist is sort of sore. I've never had major injuries, thankfully. I'll turn that down so that we can get talking over the top of me. But yeah, it seems to be. I mean, that obviously comes with the style that you're implementing. We are obviously defending a lot in this position, putting a lot of pressure on that tendon here in the bicep. So not a big surprise that I would get an injury or pain there. Yeah, if you're pressing or hooking, they're obviously going to get pain on that side of the elbow. Usually, these are not exclusive to if you're doing one or the other. Some people can get pain there no matter what, but that's where I've faced it. I did end up getting golfer's elbow on my left arm, which is an overuse injury. Condyle, the lateral epicondyle of the elbow, for those of you playing at home, uh, and my elbow was tingling. And so I started backing off on it, and it just kept getting worse. It was just pain through my forearm every time I would sort of flex. It would be hurting. Uh, Ended up sort of giving it a full year off, and it still wasn't recovering. And it ended up my entire arm was tingling all the way up to my neck. I'm like, this isn't good. So I ended up going just to see a GP, and they gave me an ultrasound guy. I went to the ultrasound guy, and he's put the whatever that is, the device, I don't know, on there. And as soon as he's done that, he's looked at the monitor and just gone, "Yeah, that's golfer's elbow, mate. You need cortisone for that." So yeah, cortisone injection 10 minutes later, and it was absolutely perfect after that. The next day, no tingling, no pain. I gave it another week to recover, and yeah, and ever since then, it's been absolutely fine. So what I was told is that golfer's elbow uh, it's an inflammation of the elbow that just keeps reoccurring, and it doesn't allow the injury to recover because it just keeps sending like heat and inflammation areas to that. It doesn't allow the injury to heal. So what cortisone does is it stops that inflammation for days for the actual injury to heal itself. So anyway, it looks like we are getting things underway here, and I may have missed the first round, which is obviously we've got we've got Tim and Jim. Okay, that's what the cards are saying. Tim and Jim. I've got to find them on the list of matches here because I don't remember seeing a Tim and Jim unless they haven't changed the title cards from earlier. Oh yeah, the title cards have just disappeared. Oh no, maybe this is the prelims, and the prelims are now available to replay. I believe that's what's going on here because there is two. Let me show you what I'm doing. So you have an idea as to what I'm looking at here. And if my computer will keep up with me. Oh, now it's going super fast. Yeah, so that there, I think that's the prelims. Right, and the pay-per-view, I believe, is directly underneath that. The one we want. It still hasn't started yet. Right, so that one there is the prelims. We've seen that. We don't need to play that one. Waiting on this one. All right. Everything is all good. There we go. We'll jump back into it when it starts. That's getting wise to you, Foxy. Yes, that's right. That's right. And you were spying on me in the shower. Wow. A lot of spying going on. It's important. It's important to spy. Fox Opal says his elbow is mega sideways and I can pull a lot. Fantastic. I don't remember what style of puller that you were. I remember watching your matches in the tournament, but I don't remember whether you were able to implement a certain technique. I do believe you did lose the matches that I saw, but are you normally a presser? Are you normally a hooker? Me, obviously, being a top roller, that's my forte. That's what I go for every single time. You know me, I'll no quit. Yeah, well. And Ryan somehow won the Tampa. Did he? He won it. Wow, rigged. Rigged. He does have 100,000 subscribers and I have 800, so you know. He may have got wind of your poll and sent his army. Vote for me in the tan poll. I used to train my sign pressure daily, but everything else suffered. Okay. Yeah, I don't really train off of table time. I don't do basically any arm wrestling specific movements at all. I do my usual gym routine throughout the week, which is, I guess, what you'd call maybe a bodybuilding style routine. Different muscle group each day: shoulders, back, legs, biceps, triceps, you know, chest. Did I say chest? I don't know. But yeah, every Sunday night we have our arm wrestling training at the club, which you're supposed to go for 2 hours, but it usually ends up being 3 because we're having such a good time that no one wants to leave. But yeah, those 2-3 hours of going crazy with other people on the table, yeah, usually my arms are pretty bloody sore until Thursday, and then it's like, well, I could do some arm wrestling stuff, but it's like, it's just, you know, it's kind of in that different point of time where if I was recovering one day earlier, sure, maybe at that point I could do some stuff. But it's like by the time I recover, it's time to do table time again, and I prefer to do table time over stuff in the gym. Because I have a fantastic time at the club. There's like 40 people that come along. We have a tremendous time, and B, because it's I find that I get a lot more out of it with that dynamic style of having somebody pulling against you, you know, in all sorts of crazy positions that are very, very difficult to replicate. And it does help when you've got stronger people than you at the club. There's probably six guys that are a lot stronger than me at the club that I can really work and work hard against, and they're all strong in different areas. Taron Broad, obviously, you haven't heard of Taron before. He is an under 80 kilos arm wrestler, but he is phenomenally strong in the hook position. So I get some great work trying to keep him out of that position. We've got Stretch, whose real name is Joel, but he's 6'10" something, 6'9". I don't know. He's absolutely enormous. 6'9", 150 kilos, which is what I'm always going to do the conversion to pounds. So it's 220 for 100 kilos at 110, so 330 pounds for Joel or Stretch, and his arm is just so bloody long. Very, very difficult to top roll him. Yeah, so great to work against people like that. Still waiting for the stream to start here. I'm just going to refresh the page as well, just in case that it has started and I have missed anything that's going on. It'd be funny if I was just talking to you guys the whole time and the match was like all finished. Matt, you missed the whole event. Yeah. Oops. No, it has not started as of yet. Go back to the comments here. JM Press is not only a rehab for the elbow, but a preventative too. Yes, I've heard very good things about the JM Press. Yeah, I mean, it's essentially like a skull crusher, or it's like a close grip bench press, sort of. It's like a modified version of that, the JM Press. But I have heard very good things about that exercise for people's elbows. Timmy. Oh, hey, HCP, it's the Ryan Bowen super fan. I'm Mateo. I like listening to the Golden Pipes, the voice of God. Oh, well, thank you very much, HCP. It's lovely to see you in here. A lot of people find that my voice and Ryan's voice sound very, very similar, to the point where I would play like a clip. I'd have the screen away from my family, and I would play a random clip of either one of us talking, and I'd be like, "Who was that?" And they'd be like, "That was you." I'm like, "No, it wasn't." They would get it wrong half the time. It was like, these are my own family. So good, so funny. Fox 8 Ball says, I top roll like Paul Maiden, sort of. Okay, there you go. But you have very good side pressure as well. Chili Piper, yes, that's right. Red Hot Chili Piper, the big Bowen fan. I'm sure he's excited to see Ryan versus Schoolboy. We will be going for Ryan, obviously. My man, Crazy 8 Ball, absolutely. My recovery stats are maxed out. Oh, there you go. When are you going to be on the table next, Fox, that we could see you pull? Because that was the first time that I'd seen you, and I remember actually if you did compete in the Fox outfit. It was great. Every time you sort of would be looking throughout the crowd, you just see somebody dressed in a full Fox outfit. So that's Fox 8 Ball over there. There you go. Go to Club Torture. Everyone is stronger there. Yes, well, that's one of those things. Paul Maiden being an absolute genius in terms of knowledge with arm wrestling setups, and I was lucky enough to have dinner with him on the Monday night after the event, before everyone went home, and he showed me very briefly just a few little things, and it was just night and day difference as to, yeah, just the simplest little movements from there to there would, or there to there would mean the difference as to whether or not I could pull. We were on the in the bar in the pub, and he's like, okay, try to pull me here, and I could, yep, and he's like, okay, now he would just move his wrist a tiny little bit, and I'd be like, couldn't move him whatsoever. Unbelievable. And some of the tips that he's given me have really changed my games big time. So JM Press really does work. All right, there you go. I think now I can tell the difference between you and Ryan's voice. That's a challenge video. Yeah, I think his is a little rougher than mine. But yeah, it was funny actually. I was on a stream with Jake, and his wife walked past in the background, and she goes, "Oh, are you talking to Bolin?" It's like, no, it's Matt Connolly. The Fox Doom. Yes, that's the one. Absolutely. This stream keeps pausing. Keep restarting it. They are running a little bit behind here. I'm hoping that I haven't done anything wrong. And this is one of those things we were talking about last week with Knuckles Up 3. They were, what, 45 minutes, I believe, behind in getting started. And there was a lot of people that jumped in. I was doing the same sort of thing. I had the live stream going and I was doing a commentary with Ryan. Yeah, there was 45 minutes delay as to before they got things up and running. And a lot of people coming into the chat going, I'm not sure if I've gone to the right website or if I'm doing everything correct, but all I'm seeing is just this loop of ads over and over. I'm like, no, you are in the right spot. They will be starting soon. So yeah, it was, looks like they're facing the same issues with MAC here. And Sharma, what are you doing up? It's too early for you, mate. This is one of our fantastic arm wrestlers from the SA Titans Arm Wrestling Club, and we were just talking about that earlier. Sharma, who his nickname is Goku. You've probably seen him on my channel before, going absolutely crazy. Too early. It is 2:45 in the morning on it was Saturday night, now Sunday morning. I am studying. Well, what are you studying at 3 in the morning? You're studying, but you've got YouTube on. You're studying how you can watch arm wrestling for free. No, it's great to see you in here, and I hope to see you tomorrow night at the club. Ash is one of those guys that I was a little hesitant to put him in the super match. He was asking for a super match quite early on, and the technique that Ash employs is very much a high pressured top roll without a lot of cup. And when he was first starting, it was so much this, which is pure arm break position. And it was like, he wants to have a match. I'm like, I cannot let you have a match until you are conditioned enough that if you are in that spot and you want to go like that, that you can recognize when you're going to feel the resistance and you can adjust to that. Because yeah, that style of pulling is very dangerous. But obviously, you learn how to add back pressure in there as well, and your game has evolved significantly. And you've got some big wins over some very good opponents, and especially in the weight category that you're in. I believe you're in the under 70s, under 75 kilos. So yes, good to see you sticking around, doing well with your arm wrestling. And yeah, I believe you're going back to India soon, or back at the end of the year, and we may be having something to do with Pro Panja again over there. Those guys are tremendous. They put on a fantastic event, and they're about to start their Pro Panja League again, which will be a very exciting event. If no one has heard of Pro Panja, so Panja is the Hindi word for arm wrestling. And so Pro Panja means pro arm wrestlers. They have the biggest viewership out of anyone in the world for arm wrestling, and not by a little bit, but like by millions and millions of people. Their final of their Pro Panja series that they ran last year had 34 million people watch it. Just to put that in perspective, Australia, the entire country, has about 25, 26 million people. So if every single person in Australia watched that event, it still wouldn't cover the amount of people that watched it. And that is pretty much mostly India that watched it. So yeah, unbelievable viewership. They timed it so well. Praveen Dabas and all the guys that are from Pro Panja that set everything up there. They did it in such an intelligent way that they ran the events on the Sunday afternoon after the cricket. So cricket is massive in India, and the cricket match would end, and then it would lead into Pro Panja. So you already had millions of people watching because they were watching for the cricket, and it led straight into, oh, what's on next? Here it is. It's arm wrestling. And so it's such a clever move, and they fought for that. They really pushed hard. I believe that the network wanted to put them on at like 1 a.m. or something, which is just useless because no one's going to be watching at that time, or very minimal compared to prime time where straight after the cricket. It's like, well, hey, this is sport, this is sport. And they got themselves in that position and did phenomenally well. So their next season is about to start. And the Drew is here. Oh no, what did I miss? You haven't missed anything yet, Drew. We are here to do commentary on the MAC event, which is going to be taking place soon. I believe they are running a little bit behind with their pay-per-view. We've got 12 big matches on the card, and so we saw the prelims earlier, and now on prestream.com is where you'll find the Major Arm Wrestling Championship stream, the MAC stream. And I believe it's being held in Rochester, New York. Or no, no, it is definitely on that side of North America. But yeah, they are running a little bit behind on their live stream at the moment, but they have had some very entertaining prelim matches, which was clever. It was a good move to do that, to flow from having prelims into your pay-per-view event, because you've already got an audience that maybe you've got, say, several hundred people that are watching your event for free, and it's like, hey, if you enjoy what you're seeing, we've got champions, or we've got like the best of the best guys coming up after this in a pay-per-view. So you get the opportunity to give a product away for free, get people interested, get people talking about it, get people watching, and then the whole way through that prelim, you're pushing your pay-per-view and you're saying, look, guys, if you like what you're seeing, there's more of this. There's a 12-match card coming up with some of the best competitors in the world coming up. And it's a lot of Canadian versus Americans on this card as well. So you've got the patriotism side of things. So yeah, very clever move to do that. Hopefully they were able to convert some people from watching the prelims into buying customers. But at the moment, we're sort of sitting here waiting for everything to start. We've been doing that for a little while now. I'm hoping that they're going to get things going. I'm seeing the same loop over and over and over. And I'm hoping that I haven't done the wrong thing here. So I'm just going to double check that everything's correct on my end. I'm just going to refresh my stream here and make sure that because the last thing I want is to have been sitting on here and missing the matches. But no, we have not got anything up and running as of yet. So it looks like they may be facing some technical difficulties over at MAC, which is unfortunate. It's okay, we've got plenty of time, and I will be sitting here, as I said, it's 3 in the morning. I'm not going anywhere, and I'm quite used to staying up for many, many hours in a row. I used to work full-time days and full-time nights. I'm not kidding. For 3 years straight, I did that. Last thing I want is to have been on the wrong side or anything like that. I'm just going to make sure that everything's correct on my end. Still waiting to hear everything come back up, but doesn't look like there's anything has started as of yet. Fox 8 Ball. Last year at the AEW DAF place, I met the 100 kilo Indian champ of PMU. Okay. Yeah, the 100 kilo Indian champ. I'm not sure who that would be. When Ryan and I went over there last year, Ryan faced off against their #1 heavyweight, who is Mazahir Saidu, and what a match that was! Absolutely back and forth, silver bullet match that ended. The guys got strapped together, and they're about to start the last round, and the lights and the whole building went out. It was like, it couldn't have been more dramatic. It was absolutely incredible. Ryan ended up getting the win there. Incredible job. I went against a younger man named Abbas Rana, who was only 15 at that time. I think he's moved up to 16. It was a lose-lose for me no matter what. It's like, if you lose, you lost to a 15-year-old. It's like, if you win, you beat a 15-year-old. But he was incredible, a fantastic arm wrestler, and yeah, he will be very, very have a very bright future in this sport. I would love to see more of him competing. I'm hoping he's going to be on this Propanja. It's a hard thing to say quickly. Propanja series that's coming up. Did you do any gaming? I did, absolutely, yeah, I still do. Although these days, I very much try to steer clear of the major online games because I know how much time it will suck out of me. If I get involved in, like, a big campaign or something like that, it's like, yeah, goodbye 100 hours of time. So I deliberately haven't bought any of the systems or anything like that for quite a while. My last one that I bought was probably what was the one after Xbox 360? Not the Xbox One. I don't know. It was back then anyway. But on PC, I played a lot of Team Fortress 2, which I'm not sure if you guys have played that game. But Half-Life, when Half-Life 2 came out, they had a online mod version of that, which was a team deathmatch kind of thing called Team Fortress, and yeah, absolutely loved that game. I think I sank 300 hours of time into that, mostly as the spy, but actually might be more than that. I think I might have pushed up to around 1,000 hours, and 300 of that was as the spy. Anyway, but that's what I mean. It just takes up so much time. So yeah, but what I do have is one of those old consoles that well, it's one of those consoles you get that has like 20,000 games from, the 80s, 90s, early 2000s. And so that's been a lot of fun. And all those games, you can sit down, you can play for 10 minutes and move on. And I do that when I'm doing a lot of editing stuff because editing is frustrating. You sit here for a long time and you've got to concentrate in that and you're replaying the same bits over and over. And, it does get tiring. uh, yeah, it's not the greatest fun doing the editing side of things. So after an hour or whatever, I'll be like, I need to take a break, and I'll get up and I'll go and play Street Fighter 2 for a couple of rounds, and yeah, then I'll come back and sit down and continue until I get it done, and then I'll put it up and I'll get 12 views. But that's okay. I do it because I love doing it. And yeah, the funny thing is like going to events like Arm Gods, and then those 12 people that watched that were in that room. So there you go. What was the name of? Yeah, Sheik. Sheik. I'm not sure. I haven't heard of him, but if he is the under 100 kilo champion, then that may be the guy. But yeah, we'll see how Propanja does this year. Obviously, they're doing very, very well. Can't remember his name off the top of my head. There you go. That was a good event. Lights out was funny. Not gonna lie. Yeah, well, there you go. And it was a whole adventure going to India. Even just getting there was one hell of a story. Were you a Nintendo kid or a Sega kid? I remember as a kid, I got for Christmas the Sega Master System, and I thought it was the best thing ever. I was a huge fan, and back then there was that big rivalry between Nintendo and Sega. And I say Sega. I don't know if people say Sega. I've heard it pronounced Sega, but I don't know. I say Sega. And there was magazines that were dedicated, the Sega magazine, the Nintendo magazine, and they'd always be ripping on each other. The truth was, I didn't really care. I just liked playing video games, and basically all the same games were on both systems back then. Anyway, the Mega Drive came out, the Super Nintendo came out. I ended up getting the Super Nintendo and loved it. Played Street Fighter 2 on there to death, and I'm still playing it now, the same version. uh, I would hope that I have improved since then, and I always imagine if I went back in time and played myself when I was like 13, I would absolutely destroy myself right now. Portal, yes, Portal is another tremendous game that was part of the Half-Life. They came out with the game Half-Life 2, and then they came out maybe 6 months later with sort of a whole bunch of extras called the Orange Box, and they had like an on-set mini series thing. Let me get my words correct here. There was about 6 different things that came with the Orange Box, and what was it called? Portal was one of those, which was a tremendous game. And they also had Team Fortress 2, as well as a couple other things on there as well. And it was amazing value. And they ended up bundling the whole thing together. Half-Life 2 came with a whole bunch of games on top. And well, Game of the year, Half-Life 2 it was, for 1999 or something, I don't know, but tremendous game. Still playable now and holds up. God, I really stuffed up my words then. I was trying to think of too many things at once. Still waiting on this stream to start. Yeah. Fox April says, I have a limited edition of Portal Half-Life for the Xbox 360. Never played mint condition, worth a few bucks, they say. It may be. It may be. You'd always be worth checking it out. Go on eBay or one of those sites where people grade games. And if you get a certain grading, it's worth a lot more, I've heard. I'm impressed by your orange box knowledge here. Impressed by my fumbling of, I can remember what was on there. It was because there was like 6 different things that came with Orange Box. Team Fortress 2 was one. They also had, I think it was Half-Life 2 Episode 1 and Half-Life 2 Episode 2, which is why I was confused because there were so many different specific things to remember. Counter-Strike is obviously a modification version of Half-Life as well as probably the most popular. Well, I'm not sure if it is today, but yeah, definitely big leagues were invested with Counter Strike, and obviously you had your counter terrorists, your terrorists. Somebody would plant a bomb, and you had your team versus team. I didn't like Counter Strike as much, mainly because it was round based, and you would step out, and if you weren't a great player like I wasn't, you'd step out and get headshotted, and you'd have to wait 5 minutes to have another go, and then you'd step out and get headshotted, and you'd be like, well, this is great. I'm sitting here watching everyone else play. Because the round would continue until everyone was killed, and then you have to restart again. So yeah, I would die in the first 12 seconds and then be sitting there for 5 minutes while yeah, not a lot of fun compared to Team Fortress 2, where you die, you instantly respawn, away you go again. So anyway, that's why I preferred that. That's correct. There you go. Funny the things that we can talk about here. This is what's good about this community. And so we're waiting for a stream to start, and we can talk about anything we like. And we'll talk about Half-Life 2, or we'll talk about Street Fighter 2, or any of those things. I'm just restarting the stream here again just to see if I definitely haven't got anything. No, it's still. Oh, there we go. There is a link that is above where I was clicking. So it looks like we're up and running, which is great. Sorry to have wasted your time there, guys. I did check a couple of times, but it looks like we are up and running now, and there we go. Got that. That's what we're looking at. So we're up and running, and let me see who the match is on between. Just going to get the names because I'm not familiar with both of these guys. Looks like the man on the right's name is Henderson. He's going through defensive top role there. Just give me a sec here, guys, while I figure this out, because I've got to see how far into the card we are. Henderson. I don't see that name on here. Hoping this isn't the prelims again. I'm just going to wait for this round to finish, and hopefully the name's up on the screen. I'm not sure who I'm looking at the moment, but I'm not sure if you guys are watching the stream as well. Obviously, probably not if we're chatting about Half-Life. Yeah. All right. YAROSZ. Excuse me for the dead hair here. I'm just trying to figure out what I'm looking at. We've got Bart Wood as the referee. Great to see him back. Obviously, the legend of WAL arm wrestling. Tremendous referee. They put the names on the screen. That helped me a lot. Oh, here we go. Rick Heidebrecht and Joe YAROSZ. So Rick is head 2-0 over Joe. And into the card is that. Okay. I see Joe YAROSZ's name here, but it was supposed to be against Mike Gould. Maybe they had a last replacement there. Might have missed 2 matches. My apologies for that. I didn't see where they were putting the stream, but it was right at the top of the screen there. But this point in time, we've got Rick Heidebrecht, and this is a left arm match. He's against Joe YAROSZ, and Rick is up 2-0. They're just about to start the first. Apologies, guys. I am between screens trying to figure out where I'm at to. On Mario Kart Nintendo 64, I'm God on there, except the winter called back. Unless he's ultra God. Yeah, I have been playing a lot of that lately with my kids, and Yoshi is the go-to. Love playing that game. Did Dakota and Wilds go yet? I don't believe they have. From what I can tell, this is the third match on the card, and it's a left arm match. It's supposed to be Joe YAROSZ and Mike Gould, but it may have changed to Joe Heidebrecht instead. Yeah, it looks like that. So I'm just trying to see where we are in terms of the matchups, because it looks like they've made some last minute changes here. But no, it doesn't look like Dakota and Wiles have gone there. I think they've got quite a while before they'll be up. They are number 7 on the list. Tall Paul says, my dang phone keeps freezing up. We've got some storms rolling in again. It's done nothing but storm here for weeks. Whereabouts in the world are you, Tall Paul? It is heading into winter here in Australia, but winter for us means I go from a singlet to a t-shirt. It's just starting now. Top Paul, try aeroplane mode, then switch back to data or Wi-Fi. Tip from 8 Ball there. To the stream, the MC who's introducing the next matchup. Constantini. So this may be the right and left arm match with Shawn CROWTHER and Jason Constantini. I thought these matches are a little bit out of order from what the card is listed here. There's Crowder coming through. Shawn CROWTHER versus Jason Constantini. We'll see a right and left arm match on this order is a little bit just by pausing it because the matches are not in the same order as what they've listed here. I'm not sure what I've seen and what I haven't seen. But right now we've got Shawn CROWTHER and Jason Constantini. So we'll get that up and running. Drag that out so see that better. Make it better for everybody so I'm not looking all over the place. I'm trying. I'm in East Tennessee. We get spring storms, but usually it stops the first week of May. I'm going to blame Trump. Okay. All right. Constantini and CROWTHER are just getting lined up here. They're starting on the left arm. They're in the strap, obviously. Looks like Constantini is going to be pressing. He's got his shoulder in very nice and tight. And they've gone into a deep hook. And Constantini is yelling in CROWTHER's face after a very comfortable pin. He's up 1-0. Both guys deep into a hook right in the center. And Constantini dragged all the way through. Very comfortable win for Constantini there. Yelling in CROWTHER's face. A long way to go in this. I believe that it's first to 3 on the right arm and left arm. So, right, they're getting it again. They're applying the string. Convey that screen to me, sir, says Fox. Ronald Dobb. Okay. Whoa, there's some arguing happening here with Constantini and Crowther. Constantini's very fired up. He is not happy about something. Oh, a lot of swearing coming from Constantini. He is not happy with the hand position putting him in. Not sure if you guys can hear them or not. Staples says big hopes for Shawn Crowther. Yeah, well, he's down 1-0 at the moment, but it is the left arm. Jason Constantini very much wanting a certain position on this start. Still haven't got into the match yet. They are just getting their hands lined up. It's very even. And I believe that if Constantini had such a big success in the hook position in that first round, we'd probably be very happy to go back there again. If he's a hook puller and that was his lane, then he needs to find somewhere else very significantly because Constantini looked way stronger in that position. So they're about to get started. Hands are getting lined up, thumbs closed, hands are getting closed. We're starting. We're in the hook position in the middle again, and we're way too strong to drive straight through. Mercer did move, tried to get the shoulder behind, looked for a hook press position, but yeah, Constantine way too strong in the hook here. Mercer's going to have to make a big adjustment. He did move around for a press, but too late. He was out of position already. He's going to either have to go into the press to start this third round, or he's going to have to top roll. He'll have to do something because he is getting blown out of the water with the strength of the hook. Paul says, have you got with Ricky Baldwin since he started beating Bowen, Matt? I've been on the table a few times with Rickard. Him and Ryan live on the complete other side of the country to me. So the only times that I've been able to get on the table with them is when we have meetings and we can sort of jump on and do some after talking and that sort of thing. Yeah, Rickard is incredibly strong. It just feels like his wrist is like twice as wide as what a normal person's should be. But he's lovely. He lets you get position and then he just drives through when when you've given him everything, he'll be like, okay, just drive through it. But yeah, he is a phenomenal athlete, and we're very excited to see. Got some big things lined up for him in the future. We're getting the third round started here with Constantini and Crowther. They applied the strap. They are in the middle, hands closed. Crowther's coming to a press. He's in a better position now. He's got his shoulder behind his hand. He's going to try to drive down. Constantini has got into a low hand top roll. He pulled Crowther out of his position. Yeah, he's pulled him out of alignment with his shoulder, and he's managed to dip the hand low enough to go parallel to him. A good adjustment from Crowther there. He did jump straight into the press. He lost his hand at the end. Constantini dropping into a low hand control and drop the position, dipped far enough beneath the pin line for Constantini to get the victory there, 3-0. Now, I believe that they're going to be going into a right-hand match straight away. Whether or not they're going to have a break and then come back to these guys, or whether or not they're going to be jumping into it immediately. They're talking to Constantini on the microphone at the moment. I guess we'll find out in a minute or two. My friends in the chat while we're watching the event here. Hopefully, Tronald doesn't get the election stolen again. Football. And Mimi Sky says, Foxy, what's good? Buddy, hope all is well. Good to see you in here. Tiny is at the pointy end of the spear, to be fair. And Mimi Sky, I'm living the dream, as I say, or nightmare. I haven't quite figured out yet. I really hate it when people say, you working hard or you hardly working. It's like, yeah, that's hilarious. I've never heard that before, mate. Go away. Like, I'm at work. I don't want to be here. What I will say is Shawn gains fast. Yes, well, he was able to make the adjustment there, which was very impressive. he was able to dive into a press position for that third round and was looking towards that he was going to be moving towards a pin, but Constantini just too strong, dropped into a low hand top roll, bent the wrist back, and it took a couple of surges still. He had to pull CROWTHER out of alignment with his shoulder, but he managed to do that and then dip down for the parallel pin. So a 3-0 victory for Constantini over CROWTHER on the left arm. If you can dodge a spanner, you can dodge a ball. That's right. Every now and then I get like highlights of dodgeball that pop up in my feed, and guys just doing insane flips and stuff to dodge the ball. It looks amazing, but like I never have enough interest to go and look up like a proper game. Let me bring up the event back here again. Oh, what have we got here? We've gone to a graphic. I hope this isn't a technical issue that they're facing. Still got a live symbol coming up. Actually, I can probably show you guys what I'm looking at. That's what I'm looking at. So I'm hoping that they are not offline and that they've got a technical issue that they're facing here, because we're just starting to get into some interesting matches. Maybe they're taking a break or a short intermission or something. Yeah, a little confused with the run of the matches. Yeah, the list that I've got, actually, let me bring that up again for you guys so you can see what I'm talking about. List of matches here. You can see Alan Ford and Brandon ELLSESSOR was listed as the #1 match, which will obviously be the last match on the card because it's the main event. But the other ones that we've seen haven't followed this order here. And we saw YAROSZ. He went against a different opponent. He went against Rick Heidebrecht. So maybe there was an injury for Mike Gold. I'm not sure. We just saw, where was it here? Shawn CROWTHER and Jason Constantini on the left. So I'm not sure what the order of matches are and what we've missed and what we haven't missed. But the two that I know that we've seen so far is this one here, CROWTHER and Constantini on the left. And we saw Joe YAROSZ. He went against, Rick Heidebrecht on right. Sorry, on left arm. So yeah, a little confused. And now I'm seeing a computer screen. So hopefully they're not having technical issues here. Fox says, I would crush you at dodgeball, mate. You're a big target compared to me. That's true. That's true. I would probably, instead of dodging, I would try to catch the ball. So I know if you catch the ball, they get out as well. Met Shawn at knuckles up. He's jacked for sure, but Tiny is a monster on left. Yeah, both guys very big men. 40 should win that. Yeah, we'll see with the main event, Brandon ELLSESSOR and Alan Ford. That should be an incredible match. Looking forward to seeing that. Mimi Sky, yeah, Tiny is savage now, and the Drew. Thankfully, the Drew has put up the link. Did I misspell it? Oh, thank you for the Drew. Use this link in your description. You misspelled it, including missing the M. Let me see if I can update that now. Pre-stream. Pre-stream, are you sure? I'm not seeing the missing M there. Prem stream. Okay, not pre-stream, prem stream. Right. Thank you. I was reading it as pre-stream. It is prem stream. Let me update that. All right. I'm not sure if I can actually update it at this point. I can't. That's okay. Well, I can't update the description while it's live, it says. Unfortunate, but that's what we're dealing with. But premstream.com is where you will find this. I'm sure that people can get close enough with that. Maybe Google will help them with a redirect or something. But yes, there we go. If you include the entire hyperlink, it is clickable. You can pin this link. Okay, let me see if I can do that. Matt, is there anyone you'd like to have a super match with? Yeah, absolutely, my friend. There would be lots of people. Let me see if I could pin this one. So I'm using Restream, Drew. It's not on YouTube, so this might not be available as an option for me. I'm just going to leave it there in case I stuff something up and the whole thing gets restarted. But I'm not sure if anyone is sort of chasing the link at this point in time. If they do, I can happily tell them that it is prem stream, not pre-stream. But there we go. Yeah, so if there's anybody that I'm looking for a matchup with, there's several people that I'd be very keen on. We've got people in our club that are very good matches for me, and I would probably be looking at somebody there. I know that there was one of our young guys whose name is Carl, but the difficulty is that he lives quite a fair distance from us and only comes down every now and then. He did ask me for a match recently. I'd be happy to go against him. There's also a man called Las Bota from South Africa, and we've had lots of crazy battles back and forth. And he is also somebody I would like to have a match with. You can go to YouTube Studio now. Yeah, I'm just going to leave it there, Drew, just in case I stuff anything up. And I don't see anybody sort of chasing the link at this point in time. And if they do ask, I'm happy to tell them where to go. But I appreciate your efforts. It's one of those things with streaming, is that things can go wrong very easily, which is exactly the reason as to why. Oh, there we go. We're back again. All right, welcome back. So there's been a planned break there. Let me drop it off so that I don't get any copyright strikes. Bota, yes, you would have seen him all over my channel. His nickname is the Berserker, and he has competed on AWE 1 and 2. Was he on 1? I don't remember if he was on AWE 1. Yes, he was on AWE 1 and AWE 2, and his style is incredibly aggressive, and he is a very entertaining arm wrestler to watch. Never in a boring match at all. And this man likes to put on a show, and sometimes I swear he is tanking. Like if you're on a first to 4, he'll give you the first 2 rounds, and then he'll beat you. And it's like, did you let me win those ones? Like, oh no, no, no. But yes, the Berserker, that's the one, that's the man. Yeah, so he's got 3 matches lined up. He's dealing with a back injury at the moment, so he has to wait for that to be healed, and then he'll be back on the table. But I always enjoy going against the Berserker. So looks like they're introducing the next match. I'm just gonna listen for a sec so I can hear who we've got into. Okay, Jamie Staken and Kevin KAHLER. Jamie Staken and Kevin KAHLER. Was that on the list? I remember seeing that one. Jamie Staken and Kevin. Oh, there it is. Okay, this was supposed to be the number 8 match, but I'm not sure what order they're going in at the moment. I guess we've just got to roll with it. It's a right-handed match. So Staken versus KAHLER. And they've opted to go outside of straps. I think this is the first match we've seen where they've started outside of straps, so better not slip. We've got to start here, and it looks like Staken was too strong in the top roll position, used the top roll position to get the first third, and then turned inside and dragged down to get the rest of the way with a hook position. So using 2 techniques there, top technique to get that first third with a top roll, and then transitioning into a hook to go all the way through. Wasn't able to continue with the top roll. So that was quite interesting. I don't think I've seen that happen very often. Maybe he felt outside of straps that the further he went, he may have started to slide, and they may have ended up in a slip position. So very cleverly, he's moved inside and dragged down for a pin. So Jamie Staken up 1-0 on this right hand match. First one we've seen that started outside of straps. Jamie for the win, says approximate ball. Well, he's up 1-0 at the moment. Vero Intostado. That's very interesting. All right, they're getting it lined up here. Hands closed. We've got a foul for Staken for starting early or closing early. Hands are getting lined up again from Bart Wood, the referee. Thumbs are getting closed now. Shoulders are good. Hands are good. Something, okay. It started. Middle in a good position. Taylor has held on to the surge. They're stuck in the middle. Both guys pushing back and forth in good position. They're directly in the center. Neither guy having an advantage. Taylor's wrist is starting to go. He's getting pulled away from his shoulder now. Stays very close to his shoulder. He's going to be able to use his body weight and his momentum to start driving through. He's moving into a press position here. Taylor's all on bicep. He's going to gas himself out here unless he does something drastic. And he does. He surges very hard. He gets it back to the middle, but he is underneath the He had a lot of energy ordered, expended. Kahleur there. He was underneath and was on his bicep a lot of the round there. Held on. He was very strong in that position, but he wasn't able to bring it back. He did at one point surge back to the center, bring it back to the center, but he was unable to change the wrist position. Jamie Staken staying so close to his shoulder, able to. My audio is drinking. Right. I might be hearing their audio as well. Hopefully that is better. Let me know if that's better, Fox. Go to my settings to see if my audio is good. Test, 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 test. Okay, that should be all good. It may have been picking up both the sound coming from the computer and my voice at the same time. So I've turned down the sound on the computer, so hopefully that has fixed it. Let me know if that is better. Got Evan Burgoyne in the commentary there. Yes, it's fixed. Okay, great. So it must have been picking up both audios from the computer and from my voice. But yes, moving into the third round here, Jamie Staken up 2-0, looking very dominant. Kevin KAHLER. So that last round, they did sort of match each other in the center in the hook position for probably. Oh, we're about to start. It was a really fast start. I think Bart Wood wasn't even ready for them to start. Then he's actually called a restart. So they're just getting lined up again now, close hands, and started again. They're both fighting each other in the center again. KAHLER has managed to get the dominant wrist position, and he is driving. Wow, he's got the pin. Well done. Good adjustment from KAHLER there. So he won the center and dragged to the pin with, it was almost like a side pressure. He got to this position. There wasn't any backwards movement. He's just sort of driven sideways. But a good adjustment from KAHLER, and this is a 2-1 match. So, yeah, very clever. And a good move by Staken there as well, losing the hand referee. Sorry, referee. I'm reading the word referee. Losing the hand and being underneath KAHLER, but giving up that position, knowing that he's just going to gas himself out. That's one of the intelligent moves of a veteran arm wrestler. Is if you know that you're in a losing position, there's no way you can get out of that spot, and you're only going to be gassing yourself out. And there's still multiple rounds to come. It's like, just give that up. There is no point destroying yourself to just delay the inevitable, unless you feel that you have the ability to pull out of that position or change your position. Then don't waste your energy. And that is what you saw Jamie Staken do just then. KAHLER too strong in that side pressure position. I think it all comes down to that start and who gets the better go. But we're getting on. There's not much time between rounds. I like this. This is speedy. And these setups are really quick. The guys are putting their hands together pretty much. Thumbs are closed, hands are closing now. And early start from Staken. He gets a warning from Bart there. Not sure if it's a foul or if it's a warning. Yes, so 2-1 at the moment on the right arm with Jamie Staken and Kevin KAHLER. Lining up again. We're getting hands lined up. Thumbs are down. Hands are closed. Start. Both fighting in the center. No one's got an advantage. Staken posts high and gets a drive, but they've been turned into a hook. Wow. Into a hook position in the center. KAHLER A big surge drives through to the pad for a pin. It's a 2-2 match. I think this is a silver bullet right now. Staken falling back onto his knees almost, gets a huge post, gets hand position, but unable to execute. His body weight was not in line with his arm. He was so far away to get that post. When he went to transition to come back up with his body, Kayla has turned it inside. It's gone to do a hook. And by the time Jamie's gone forwards to try to defend the hook, Kayla has driven sideways very hard, very quick pin. So great win for Kayla there. This is a very interesting match. This is a 2-all. I believe it's first to 3. So this will be going down to this final round. Yeah, there's not much time in between rounds. And this is probably the fastest setups I've seen for a pro show in terms of the guys. I reckon it's 5 seconds. It's a 5-second setup. And these guys almost went before the referee was ready. Wow. Yeah, the hands are going on the table. They're getting immediately their thumbs lined up, their hands lined up, and we're getting a start. This is it. We're coming down to the last round here. Thumbs are closed, hands are closed. Kayla's gone into a deep hook again. He's gone side pressure through, and he's busted Jamie's wrist back, and Kayla has got the win there. Well done to him. 3-2 victory. Well done. A great come from behind victory. We've gone back to the computer graphic icon. I'm not sure why they're doing that in between rounds, whether they're having technical issues or not. But Kayla with a 3-2 victory over Jamie Staken. Wow, fantastic effort. I thought he was out of it after that second round where he used so much energy to defend that hook. But yeah, incredible effort from him. Seeing the graphic come up again, this is the view that I'm getting, guys, on the stream. So they may be facing some issues, which is a little frustrating from their perspective because, they're putting on such a good show. We just saw an incredible battle between Jamie Staken and Kayla, and you really want to hear from Kayla and find out what his thoughts were for that match. But unfortunately, the stream has gone offline again. Yeah, it's one of those things with putting on an event. You can put everything together from the best of your ability as a promoter. And we were saying this with Knuckles Up last week. It felt terrible for the guys who were running it because that the guys running Knuckles Up, the guys that are running Mac, are very, very passionate about arm wrestling. They want to put on the best possible event, and they've spent hours and hours and hours and months leading up to this, organizing everything, getting things ready and set up in place, and then to have technical issues sort of plague your show, things that you can't actually control, that are out of your hands. You've got to hire other people that are experts in those areas, and even then those people are still facing problems. So it's one of those things that is, unfortunately, going live and having problems. It seems to be hand in hand with running an event. And if anyone can run an event and not have problems, it's a great thing. And the last thing you want to see is that people who are paid for the event, who are excited about watching the matchups, and then, they're just getting a technical issue after technical issue, especially for the guys who are running the event, because, that's the last thing they want, is to put everything together and then have it presented in the way that they thought it should look. And you've got all the cameraman doing their great job and everything like that. And then no one can see it because the stream's dropping out. It's like, so I know that with AWE, we were fortunate enough to piggyback off of Diamondback Fighting Championship, which is an MMA organization here in South Australia. They were set up for their event later on in the evening. And Dave Stockbridge, one of the owners of AWE, being best friends with the owner of Diamondback Fighting Championship, we were able to utilize the Octagon and utilize the camera and production crew that have done multiple high-end streams for Diamondback Fighting Championship. And they were very experienced. They knew what they were doing. They knew how to stream in 1080 HD for hours and hours and hours. And we were able to use that crew. We didn't have any issues. We didn't have any dropouts. We didn't have any problems. We had great high quality footage the entire time. Audio was good. You know, we were able to see instant replays within seconds of requesting it. So those elements were very valuable for us. It made the whole experience easy for not only us but for the audience that's watching at home. But that crew that did that, the production crew, that is their specialty. That's what they do. They are experts in that. And so if you're using a crew that is, maybe this is the first time they've done this sort of thing, or maybe this is the first time that they've had to stream at this high quality, you know, they may be facing issues that they haven't dealt with before, or they're not sure how to fix. So yeah, the live stream is currently offline. Ugh. Not a good thing. I'm hoping that it's all going to work out well for Mac over there. I'm not sure if they have to hold up their matches as well. That's one of the things, you know, the athletes that are in person ready to go, and then they're being told, look, hang on, we can't get the stream going. So we don't want to put your match on while no one can see it. And then the athletes, you know, who have warmed up, they're ready to go. They're ready for the match, and they're sort of sitting back going, well, how long is it going to be? And they're like, we don't know. We're trying to fix it now. But this is what I'm seeing at the moment. Video is not currently available. Live stream or video file are not ready. Ugh. Okay. Well, that's a very unfortunate thing for Mac. They're doing good matches. They've got great ideas. They've got fast starts, and you know, we just saw an incredible match. It was a 1-3. It went down to the silver bullet match. But yeah, now they're facing some dramas, and I'm just going to refresh my stream again just in case it's from my end. Video is still not available. I feel bad for the guys here. Try it again. Oh, it's still offline. I'll refresh it every now and then. And I'll chat to the legends that I've got here with me here. And Jamie has fallen on his own STAKEN. Very nice use of words there, Fox. But it was a fantastic match. Great battle. A lot of techniques utilized. Both guys very adept in all areas, pressing, hooking, and top rolling. So well done to them. I might sound biased, but the only events I've watched online that actually worked were Arm Gods. Arm Gods is fantastic. Well, it does help. That's right. I think Marcus had the BT CEO in the trunk of his car. Yeah, well, that's his. I mean, Marcus obviously, that is his field, is IT. So you would hope that it would work properly. And I think if it didn't, there would be some questions being asked. Yes, pulling says in the US, everything costs more money. It breaks quicker. Oh, geez, I feel bad for the guys. Oh, man, I hope it comes back on for him. I'm restarting it again now, but it's still offline. Yeah, lengthy delay is awful for everyone involved. So whoever's there in charge of getting this thing back up and running, it's almost like you'd want to go live on your phone and just be like, look, guys, we're having problems. Hang on, we will fix it, but let me talk to you for a little while so you're not sitting there wondering what's happening. Communication is vital in those moments. Oh, don't restart, refresh first. It's the same thing. That's what I've been doing. I've been refreshing the page. Yeah, and then well, let me show you, Fox. Actually, I like the fact that I can share the tab. Oh, you can't see my taskbar, but the top section, let me bring that up. So that's what I'm seeing. I click refresh, and I don't even get the option to start the video. So unfortunately, they are offline big time at the moment. All right, we'll keep it there so we can see what's going on. Is this their first live event? It is. It is their first event in total. And it was fun. Yesterday we were on the Arm Wrestling Buzz show, and the Mac guys were on, and they did say that they have actually sold 400 pieces of merchandise before they've even had their first show. So that's how ingrained in the arm wrestling community that they are, and how much people want them to succeed, that they're willing to buy hats, t-shirts, and all sorts of things from MAC, the major arm wrestling promotion. And I'm sure that all those people are in that room currently. Unfortunately, we are not able to see what's happening because the stream is playing up. But yep. Oh, we're back. We're back. We're back. All right. Let's see who. Okay, we're getting the interview with KAHLER. Great. All right, excellent. I'm glad that we didn't miss that. Okay, awesome. So I'm gonna drop that out again before I get copyright strike. But that's good. They're back. So you know what hurts the most, though, says Fox 8 Ball. No, let's hear the wisdom of Fox 8 Ball come through. Yeah, it's the first live event. Yeah, first event in total. But it looks like from the on the floor side of things that everything's running well. In terms of the table is going well. They're not having fouls. I don't think I've seen a foul yet at all. We're getting quick starts, which is exactly what we wanted. I loved the fact that the guys requested no strap and they didn't slip, which is the whole purpose of saying, hey, look, we don't want a strap. I love that. I think that's really good. I might even start pushing that as an option with OWE, or at least with our club matches, and be like, look, I'm going to start you guys in the strap unless you specifically say we don't want the strap. And if you slip, then I won't be happy. Because that's the thing with two top rollers, when they walk up and you know they're both top rollers, you know they're going to slip. They know they're going to slip. And I say, do you want to start in the strap? And they say, no. Nah. And I go, you know, you're going to slip and it's just going to end up in the strap. Why don't we just start in the strap anyway? And they go, nah, we'll be right. And then they instantly both slip. And it's like, why didn't you just start in the strap? Anyway. Yes, you know what hurts the most, though, says Fox 8 Ball, getting your balls caught between two house bricks. Yeah, that's got to be the worst. Definitely worse than having the stream not work. Uh, the Drew says, would be cool if they had an audience live stream commentary on their own YouTube channel as a companion stream promoting the pay-per-view, of course, and we could find out if any issues happen too. Yeah, that's not a bad idea, Drew. I guess it just comes down to resources. And when if you had presented that as an idea to me, Dave, and Ryan, and if say you were part of AWE and you said, hey, this is an idea, I'd probably be saying it's a good idea, but it's just more work and it's another thing we have to worry about. And I don't want to be worrying about another thing. We've already got so much that we're trying to do here. So yeah, I like the idea. I think it's quite clever. I think that if you've got a big production crew and you've got the ability to do that, or you've got somebody that's your role is just that, look after the audience thing and don't come to me and tell me anything that's gone wrong with it, because I don't know about it. It's your thing. You do it. Then sure, go your hardest. But if you're wanting me to add it on top of my list of things, then no. Oh, I'm gonna miss the next match here. What have we got? All right, we've got a left arm match. Guys are getting set up. I'm just trying to see the names. Who have we got here? Trying to read the name off the back of the shirt. Radford, Jeff Radford, maybe Jeff Radford and John Brownell, I believe. They've started, and Radford has got a very quick, powerful pin, instant pin, like yeah, no difficulty whatsoever on that one. So Brownwell is going to have to make some big adjustments because he looked out of sorts immediately. I think even in the setup, he looked uncomfortable. So he's going to make some big adjustments there because, yeah, he pretty much got driven straight to the pad I don't think it was even like a technique. It looked more like it was just sideways pressure. I don't think the hand actually moved. It was almost like a flat wrist pin. So guys are in their break between rounds at the moment. The Drew says, show the free prelims on there. Good way to boost traffic or use a larger YouTube channel for that purpose. Yes, that's right. Absolutely. A lot of these ideas come post, like you're setting everything up, and it's like unless you're sort of adept to the YouTube side and the streaming side, it can be that somebody might be coming to the organization with a very specific skill set of knowing all the all the athletes, and knowing who will pull and who would make good matches, and they've got a great network of people and they can get in contact with everyone and get them there. And maybe you've got a guy like that on your team, and then you've got somebody else that's like, I know how to promote and I know how to do this and da da da. But then if you don't have somebody that's like, I know how all the YouTube side of or how it should be presented, you know, that's where you may be reaching out to another external party and going, look, how do we do this? And it's like, oh, just put it on the website. I'll run it for you. Let me just talk about the match here. We've got, they're just getting lined up in straps, and we're about to get a start. We're getting the thumbs closed, hands closed. Wow. Another very fast flash pin. So Brownell is not able to make any adjustments there. He looks like he's very uncomfortable. I don't know what technique he's trying to do. This is just overpowering. It's basically this. He's just getting blown out of the water. He can't get any cup in his wrist. He's not able to transition at all. Yeah, he's just pure side pressure getting pinned. He's going to have to get his shoulder behind or something to be able to stop that. But I think we're looking at a 3-0 flash pin here for Redford. Yeah. Yeah, so as we were saying, yeah, unless you've got somebody on your crew that really knows how the event should be presented, it can be very difficult. And it's like, oh yeah, we'll just put it on YouTube. Yeah, great. And then it's like you get up to near the event, you're like, how do we do that? And it's like, oh, you need the stream key, you need these other things, and it's got a link to the website with that, and this, and then the live chat means another thing, and there. It's like, I don't know how to do that. So yeah, that's where you may be saying, I don't know how to do it. Can you do it? And then somebody else sort of knows, and they're putting their 2 cents in, and that's where you may be getting these technical issues, because the people who lined it up this person did a little bit, that person did a little bit, and it's like the guy who's been given the role of manage this thing on the day is going, where's this? I don't know. Where's that? I don't know. So yeah, it can be very difficult. The last round here, the third round is about to start. The guys are getting the strap applied. So we're going to have to see a very significant change here if this match is going to go anything but a 3-0. And maybe sometimes if somebody is able to be that dominant, they might let the opponent sort of get a position and have a bit of back and forth just for fun. You might still be in a dominant spot, but actually let them have a moment and have a bit of back and forth, which is, one of those kind things that happens in arm wrestling. We're about to get the start here. Hands were closed, but they're back open. Looks like Redford is about to go for a big top roll. And thumbs are down. Hands are being closed. And yeah, straight sideways from Radford, top roll. Looks like my first 12 matches in tournaments. Just getting flash pinned. A 3-0 victory for Radford there. So, yeah, it's one of those things. It's kind of like, if you win that way, yeah, it's great. It's awesome, especially if it's a tournament, because you can move through and you're not tired. You haven't gassed out your arm or anything. But yeah, in a super match, it's kind of like, yeah, well, I just blew through the guy. It's like, well, what did you learn from it? Not much, really. I just went sideways and got the pin. And even for the opponent, it's like, well, what did you learn from that? Oh, there wasn't anything I could really learn. I just got driven sideways. It's like, was there anything you could have done differently? I don't know, because I got beaten too quickly to find out. So, yeah, maybe a mismatch there. Maybe they thought it would have been more competitive, but yeah, Radford just way too strong, like on another level there. Stopping us. The Drew says, since YouTube is the host, it would be separate, of course. Yes, someone else would do it. Yeah, that would be ideal. Do you trust them to do it? What if they're stuffing up? What if they're having problems? Then they're coming to you and you're trying to figure out what their problem is and you're trying to run the event at the same time. A lot of things that go into behind the scenes. And the simpler you can make it, the better. That's why with the AWE Underground, it's 3 cameras. We've got everything positioned so that once it's all in place, we press record, we have the match. All the matches take place, we press stop, then we go and edit it and make it look really nice and put it out. Live is very easy to get wrong. That's the one. It was Jeff Radford and John Brownwell left. Thank you very much. Jolly Whopped. Yes, it was a very easy straight up bombing. Oh, I have hundreds of ideas. Yes, I'm sure you do, Fox. I'm sure you do. My hoodie's on sale too, 20 quid plus P&P. Well, I know one of those P's is postage. Is it packing? I don't know. Luca, hello to you, sir. Always good to see you. Hollywood with stars and the Drew. Yes, the Drew is on every stream around the world. He's got 12 different monitors ready to go, each one with an arm wrestling event. Jellywop is a great word. It is. I can hear sounds like they're ready to go for the next one, but they're not yet. We've got the competitors on stage. We've got ELLSESSOR. This was his left arm match. All right. So, Brandon ELLSESSOR, who will be featuring in the main event later on this evening, he is going up against Tyler BOLZAN. So, love the fact that these guys are getting set up so quickly. This is a testament to what they said they would be doing. People will be walking up, putting their elbows down, and the match will be starting very quickly. And that is what we see right now. They are already in the strap. Thumbs are about to get closed. Hands are closed. Wow, ELLSESSOR with a big elbow foul, not called. They're stuck in the middle, both in the neutral position here. And Brandon getting a very high top roll position, able to bend the wrist back and go through to the pin. But I think his very first surge, Tyler, he wasn't expecting Tyler to be as strong as he was. His elbow lifted about that much off the pad. I know that they've got a different rule set in terms of their elbow fouls, and I'm all for not calling small elbow fouls. That was a big elbow foul. But I know that they've got like a dip in their table, and they're saying unless the elbow, if that's the dip, unless your elbow goes above the height of that dip, then it's not a foul. I would be surprised if that didn't go off. That was probably that big of a foul. But whatever, it is what it is. He didn't get the pin from it. He had to come back to the middle of the table and start again. Had to get the hand position first, which he was able to do, able to climb, get height, lock in that cup, and then drive through. But Tyler, very strong wrist. He was able to hold that surge from Brandon. And yeah, the guys are about to get lined up again. This is fast. This is good. I like this. The speed of this show has been awesome. The only thing that's been holding him up is the bloody technical problems. Luca. So just putting the strap together now. I'm doing some weed whacking. Arms felt like it. Does it help with arm wrestling like in Karate Kid? Sure it does. All right. The guys have the strap together now. Bart Wood, the referee, legendary WAL referee, and about to get these guys started here. Thumbs are closed. Tyler looks like he's going to be implementing a lot of back pressure. Might be going for a top rolling zone. Early start. Warning from Bart Wood. They did go inside. Brandon turning the match into a hook. Now they're about to start again. Hands are closed. He's turned it into a hook. Wow. Brandon driving through for the pin. He set the hook. There was a pause for about a second, and he's driven right through to the pin pad. So Tyler looked like he was in a position where he got turned inside, but he was using his back pressure, his bicep, and it looked like he was going to try and surge and pronate all the way through to the pad. Unfortunately for him, he was not able to do that. Brandon just pulled him straight open with that hook position. So 2-0 for Brandon ELLSESSOR. So this will be one of the 2 matches you'll see Brandon in tonight. He's looking very serious, getting his arm rubbed down by his cornerman there. And just as I say that, he starts smiling. But he is dominating this match here over Tyler BOLZAN, up 2-0. Tyler, not sure what he can do. He's just being overpowered. Looks like there's a lot of matches on the card here where one of the gentlemen is significantly stronger than the other. If in doubt, back pressure it out. Yeah, there you go. At least the live chat is nice to have on YouTube. Absolutely. Live is always good. And that's why we've got the live here, because there isn't one for you guys to be able to do. And so I thought, well, why not? I'll be watching it anyway. You guys get to have somewhere when we can hang out and chat about the event. Always valuable to be able to do that, and love having you guys here watching it. Even if you're not watching the event, I'm hoping that I'm painting a picture well enough that you can understand what's happening. And so they're getting it lined up for this 3rd round. Brandon ELLSESSOR versus Tyler BOLZAN on left arm. Tyler's going to have to make some big changes. The strap has been set, but Wood is lining up their webbing. Wow. Both guys wanting to start early. They both closed their hands early and started pressuring. Here we go. With matches started. It's in the middle of the table. A lot of back pressure from Tyler. Too strong for Brandon ELLSESSOR. He held Tyler's back pressure in the middle, stared him in the eyes, and drove straight through for a pin. 3-0 victory for Brandon ELLSESSOR. Too strong, looking straight at Tyler as he's gone for the surge. Yeah, didn't even get hand position, just went sideways, and just too strong. Good showing in the last round there for Tyler. He did get an opportunity to implement his back pressure game, and you can see he's probably very strong and adept in that position usually, but when you're going up against an absolute behemoth like Brandon ELLSESSOR, it's a different story. And so Brandon, will see him in the main event later on against Alan Ford. He's sweating a little bit, but he didn't have to exert too much energy in that match. And good for him, because coming back against somebody like Alan Ford later on in the evening in a main event right arm match, last thing you want to have done is to be in a war on your left and to have gassed yourself out. Fox 8 Ball. Kind of weed, Luca, Kushberry, blah, blah. I don't know what you're talking about there, mate. I'm guessing these are strains of marijuana. Damn, son, wheelchair weed. Okay. I have no idea, mate. I've never smoked marijuana ever. Stop sending me nudes. I'm trying to concentrate. What are you concentrating on, Fox? There's nudes abound. All right. We're getting the next match announced. I'm just gonna drink. Looks like we've got Jamie Staken stepping back up on the table after his left arm war against KAHLER earlier. End nudes. End nudes? Don't you mean send nudes? All right. So who's the opponent here? For Staken. Jamie Staken is going up against, because I've got the volume down so I can't hear what they're saying. Who is it? Let's see if I can find it in the list of matches here. Jamie Staken. No, we saw that. Kevin KAHLER. Yeah, we did see a Joe YAROSZ match against Rick Heidebrecht earlier, which was supposed to be against Mike Gould. So maybe Mike had an injury, he had to pull out, and they've replaced that matchup. So it's Tim Lewis. So Tim Lewis versus Jamie Staken here. Oh, there's a left arm as well. Okay. Another left arm match. I swear we saw Jamie just have a right arm match, but maybe I was incorrect. So thumbs are down. Both guys carved. Oh, wow. Jamie Staken. Jeez, he cruised to the pad like it was Sunday morning. He just, on the close, they closed the hand. He's just very casually gone to the pad. Yeah, Lewis is going to have to make some big adjustments now. Yeah, the power level of Jamie Staken is obviously significantly higher. He's also a taller man. Lewis is looking like he's probably an inside puller, but he needs to get the match there. The cake is a lie. Yeah. Portal reference. Portal 2 was phenomenal as well. Which did you prefer, Fox? Well, I guess Portal 2 was basically the same thing, but just a lot bigger. And Portal 2 had Stephen, what's his name from The Office, as doing the voice of one of the characters. That was fantastic. Stephen Merchant. All right, we're getting the strap applied here. We'll see if Lewis can make any sort of adjustments. He's significantly shorter in terms of the height and his forearm length. Maybe that's why Jamie Staken was able to just drive to the pad so easily, so comfortably, was because Lewis was just not able to engage his power. So getting thumbs closed now. Hands closed. Yeah, same thing. Jamie Staken, too strong. As soon as they closed the hands, they said go. Very cruisy top roll, straight to the pad. Yeah, Tim Lewis, I think he was just outgunned in this. He had the angle. Yeah, he's trying to get inside. You can see he wants to turn in. Unfortunately, as he's turning in, he's getting driven to the pad at the same time. It's one of those things with that hook is that, you really got to push into that spot. It's almost two movements. You've got to push in and then you can start applying your power. Whereas with the top roll, especially if you've got a height advantage over your opponent, you can close over and it's all one direction going back as you're cupping your wrist. So, yeah, unfortunately, Tim Lewis unable to set his hook. And there's the thing when your opponent knows that that's what you're going for and is able to keep you out of it, it's time to go to the backup plan. And I'm not sure if Tim has a backup plan which is going to be powerful enough to handle what Jamie Staken's doing. Is just taking position so much. He's like this much higher over Tim's arm. Tim needs that hook desperately. You can see he's carving in on the start. He's angling. He's doing everything he can to put himself in a position where he can get into a hook. But by the time he sort of supinates his wrist, he's already opened up and he's halfway to the pin pad. So, yeah, Jamie Staken just cruising through this. And Fox April says that position takes balls against a strong guy. Absolutely. Weasley, yes. Wheatley, yes, Wheatley. Yeah, that's right. It was a great character. All right, we're about to see the third round here. Yeah, when power doesn't work, all that's left is speed. You're absolutely correct, Fox. So Jamie Staken ahead here. Third round starting. Same story. A little slower, but pretty much a carbon copy of the first two rounds. Lewis trying to get a supination, getting dragged out, separated from his bicep, from his shoulder. By the time he got this position, he was being driven to the pad. So a very comfortable victory for Jamie Staken there. He looks very relaxed on the table as well. Let me bring this up because I got to show you how relaxed he looks. Look at that relaxed posture. Hey, he just needs a beer in that hand. Speed versus power, both critical aspects in the sport of arm wrestling. Both can find you victory. All right, we'll find out what the next matchup is. They have been flowing through these very quickly, which is awesome. Fox 8 Ball says, I guess how much pain you can take is irrelevant. It's how long you can take it. Yeah, well, that's one of those things is like for me, in certain positions, I feel like I could outlast anyone in the world. Uh, but it doesn't mean I'm going to win. I could outlast people there, but they might transition to a different position that I'm not as strong at. Um, but yeah, it's one of those things is if you've got the ability to hold on and it becomes a mind game as to whether or not you are able to take that pain and sit in it and welcome it for as long as you possibly can, and it's just 1 second longer than what your opponent can, then you can win the match. And that is a very valuable tool to be able to gas people out. And especially if they are stronger than you are in certain positions and they can drive you into where they feel comfortable, but that is where you can hold forever. And they waste all their energy trying to pin you because you're 1 inch away from being pinned, but they can't finish everything off and get that last inch. And then they've gassed themselves out. And then you can bring it back, get the pin, and then for the rest of the match, it's an easier time for you because they have no energy left. And you've seen guys like Devin Larratt make a career out of that throughout his majority of his first. I'd say up until maybe the last 3 years, that was what he was known for. That vampire style of just getting somebody and catching them and making them work and making them tired and talking trash to them and getting them angry so that they would waste more and more energy until they get absolutely nothing left. And then they would basically pin themselves, changing to different styles slightly on in the last probably 3 years, I would say, with Devin, going against guys like Ivan and, getting a lot bigger. And then now he's transitioning back down to a smaller, is he doing the 115 weight class? I think is the next matchup that he's looking at. But yeah, he's phenomenal at that, and that's one of the most exciting things to see is whether or not he can catch that person. And they know what's coming. Like if they don't get that pin, they're in for a world of embarrassment where they're going to get talked trash to, and they're going to keep trying to get that position, and Devin's just going to keep making it worse for him. Yeah, did see a lot of adjustments from athletes over the years, trying to figure out what to do if they don't get that immediate pin. And one of the ones that comes to mind is his match with Matt Mask, where Matt would give absolutely everything he had to that first surge. If it didn't go through, he would just elbow foul himself out. Very clever. All right, Fox 8 Ball. Yes, in a longer match, yes, for sure. I believe in the difference of just a kilo might mean winning. Completely agree. Fox 8 Ball says, did you see Levan's video of him tickling Bob Sapp? No, I haven't seen that. That sounds hilarious. Bob Sapp is another gigantic human. He may even be bigger than Levan. Actually, I probably would say he is bigger than Levan. He is like a walking muscle, that man. All right, we've got KWAIS versus Dave Morocco. So JANEK KWAIS versus Dave Morocco is about to start. Might be Yannick KWAIS. I'm probably saying his last name wrong. KWAIS, KWIAS, KWAIS. Some of the European names are incredibly difficult to pronounce. Lavan's just brought him down real gentle. Oh, that's nice. Oh, were they actually wrestling? That's cool. Like arm wrestling. Great. I'll have to look that up after. They're just going through the rules with Bart Wood here. Wants to confirm something. Dave Morocco does. Little strange time to be asking this question is as the match is about to start. But they've shaken hands and they're about to get going. I think they have to start on the opposite side, and maybe that's the problem that Morocco is having there. He doesn't want to start on the opposite side. Could be something to do with the buckle. Buckle does make a difference with strap pulling, and that may be the issue with Dave Morocco's candor here with the referee. He didn't want to change sides. He has now. All right, 3 handshakes we've seen now from Dave Morocco to Quais, and a high five too. All right. So, uh, now we're getting serious. We've seen the serious look come on Quais' face. Morocco is looking very much like he's gonna add back pressure. They're outside of straps here. Thumbs are closed, hands are being closed right now. They've gone into it. Morocco's gone for a high posting top roll, and he's gonna slip. So they've ended up in a slip anyway. I think maybe they were talking about the strap and, yeah. It's one of those things, that the promoters did highlight that they don't want people to ask to start outside of strap and then slip. But Morocco going for a very high posting top roll there and able to get a good position, but sort of lost the grip on, Quais's hand. So he sort of had this on Quais, which was always going to slip. But now they're getting the strap applied. Morocco can go, says Fox 8 Ball, and he says, the more I learn, the more I realize arm wrestlers are fundamentally the strongest people to ever live. Match is about to start here. Hands are closed. We've got an early start on Morocco, or an elbow floating was what they were calling there. So hands are open again. Bart Wood is the referee for this match. Dave wants to go high. You can see he's leaning back already with this. Pressure is being applied. Thumbs are closed, hands are closed. They're in the center. Hands haven't moved. Both guys have surged. The hands are still stuck in the middle. No one's got a dominant hand position yet. Quais is bringing his shoulder forward, looking for a traditional top roll. Morocco's dropping into almost a king's move here. He is sitting in the king's move. He's got pronation. Quais has got him an inch from the pad, and he's pushed him forwards and pushed Morocco's elbow off the back of the pad. Morocco not happy, yelling at Quais, yelling abuse at the referees now, pointing his finger in Quais's face and the referee's face. Very obvious push off the back of the pad from Quais, but I'm not sure what decision they've made here, whether it's a pin or whether or not they're going to restart it for the elbow foul. Bart Wood with a smile on his face, but they are getting a restart. Morocco and Quais both sort of getting away with a bit of cheekiness there. So we're getting a restart here. The hands are lined up. Morocco's elbow is not anywhere near the table. He's literally standing like this at the moment. Now he's put his elbow down. He's going to sit in that same position, closing hands. He's very high. He's gone back to that king's move again. Quais has got him 2 inches from the pad. Morocco's sitting in a king's move position, but it is not powerful enough to handle Quais's second surge, and Quais gets the pin. So yeah, a good hold on Morocco there. Unfortunately, he was palm up. He wasn't able to bring pronation into his wrist to be able to execute that king's move more effectively. And Quais very knowledgeable about what was going to be taking place from Morocco. He could sense Morocco was trying to pronate, and he's clamped very hard as he's driven for that second surge. So you are not getting pronation. I'm going to drive you straight down to the pin pad. And that is what happened effectively. Morocco sitting in an armbar position, and when your hand is, let's see what I'm doing. Yeah, so if your hand is palm up like this, and they're pushing down to the point where now your arm's going to be breaking, you need to stand up and get pinned. If you get pronation, you're in a much better position to continually take that punishment there and continually defend. You get turned up that way, you are instantly getting pinned. So very adept of Quais there to keep that hand supinated, and the palm up position on Morocco. He was not able to get that pronation. All right, we're getting ready for the second round. Quais happily waiting at the table for Morocco, who is nowhere to be seen at the moment. I think the referees like the fact that things have been going quickly. Morocco coming back from backstage. Not sure what he was doing back there, but he's back. Another handshake we've got. He looks very out of breath, sweating profusely. Dave Morocco in this. He looks red in the face. He looks redder in the face now than he did at the end of that round. Not sure what he did in the back of the area there, but he looks like he is very tired at this point in time, breathing really heavy, sweat pouring off of him. Uh, his head is down while they're applying the strap. He's leaning on the table, trying to get height into his arm, but apart from that, he looks exhausted. Fox 8 Ball says, "Jam pronation, I try to get height. In fact, I don't King's move. I don't King's move either. But it looks like Morocco is trying to get height off the start, but he's getting outplayed in that position. And they're about to start, and they've gone straight back to that same position. Morocco is sitting in his King's move. He's brought it back to the center, but KWAIS has come back with him, and he's driven again. He's driven for a second surge. He's an inch away. He's got the pin. Again, not letting Morocco get that pronation, which is vital to the King's move. All of Morocco's strength and power on his bicep was able to hold for several seconds, held 3 or 4 surges from KWAIS, but not able to hang in that position, needing that pronation. So KWAIS looking like the dominant, stronger man. It's one of those things with guys that do King's move and know that they're good at it. It feels like sometimes that they give up that initial fight at the top, whereas because they're so comfortable that they know if they lose that position, they can drop into the Kings, that they almost, it feels to me like when I watch guys pull, that they give it a little bit at the top and then they just go for that King's move. They're like, no, I can't get what I want. I'm just going to drop into my King's move. Whereas it would almost feel like if you didn't have that King's move, you'd probably fight a lot harder at that top position. It's almost like a double-edged sword there, because you're going into a defensive position offensively. Like your offense is to drop into that spot. But if you don't have the ability to do that, it's almost like you've got too many tools and you're too good in one area, but that area can play against you because you're relying on that. So, but still a very strong showing from Morocco. He's obviously a very powerful man. I'd like to see him sort of fight the center a little bit more before relying on getting into that King's move position. Fox April says he is very strong, but clearly today he is getting a good dry bum. What is it with you and dry bumming, Fox April? Great. I hope you guys are enjoying the commentary. I know you can't see what's going on, and you're probably not. I'm not sure if anyone else is watching the event. Is anyone watching the event, or are they just listening to me? I'm trying to sort of describe what's happening as if you're not watching it, because I'm fairly sure that no one in here is watching the event. They're probably just listening to what I'm saying. I could make something up. His head has fallen off. Bart Wood has exploded. You wouldn't know. Fox 8 Ball says, agreed, Matt. It makes a guy like that fight harder, but I guess we're all different. Just not for me, the King's move. And he ran out of lube. All right, we've got the third round getting set up now. Morocco again leaning on the table, breathing very heavy. He is setting up like this, like he wants his arm as straight as possible, which is what you would ideally want. And he's leaning back like he wants back pressure, like he's going to be top rolling. But unfortunately for him, he sort of just drops from that into a King's move. He's in a perfect top roll position. We'll see what happens. The hands are closed. He has started early. He's getting another warning from Morocco. Another handshake from Morocco. I think that's up to 6 handshakes now. So we're about to start. Morocco leaning back. Hands, thumbs are closed. Center is being set. Hands are closed. They've started. He's dropped into the King's move. He's higher this time. KWAIS is driven. He's 1 inch away. Morocco's holding hard. His elbow's off the back of the table. That's not being called, but that's okay. We're going here. The referee has called a pin, a parallel pin, even though it didn't hit the pad. Dave's elbow was this far off the back of the table, but doesn't matter. Let it go. These guys are both happy to keep pulling. In the end, KWAIS was too strong. I'm just they're doing a replay now of the elbow off the back of the pad. I don't care. I think it's good that they didn't call it because whatever. These guys are still they're happy to keep going. You know, and the result was the same anyway. At least they didn't get a stop and a restart and do it all over again. The guy that was about to win got the win. That's always annoyed me so much. Is I can't believe that this is even a rule, that this is something that happens in arm wrestling, is that you are winning, you're about to pin your opponent, they foul, and they get a restart. You got to do it all over again. How is that a thing? It boggles my mind. I am so against that. I think it's absolutely insane. What do you guys think? I think it's outrageous. I think it's unfair. And if people do it deliberately, yes, they're playing within the rules, but it just feels like such a dirty thing to do. Like you're about to lose. Let me make it so I get a restart here. So your opponent has worked themselves into a position. They're on their way to pin. They're this far away. They're about to pin, and you lift your elbow up. Like that should be a loss. That's a loss. So yes, we do have that in AWE. It's called a professional foul. If you foul to avoid a loss, it is a loss. All right, who have we got here? I think it may be Evan. No. Next match is about to start. Oh, it is Evan. Oh, no, it isn't. God, this guy looks exactly like him. Except he's a lot bigger. Bellin. It is Bellin. He looks like a monster of a man, Bellin. He's got a very big beard, the same as Evan Bourgoin, which is what was throwing me off. I should have looked for the tattoos. It's a severe difference in lack of tattoos there. He's going against Heidebrecht. So Heidebrecht from Ontario in Canada against Josh Bellin. This is a right arm match. And they're starting outside a strap. So we're about to get going. Referee looks like a very small person compared to these two behemoths that are on the table at the moment. Both men, enormous men, they're towering over the table. You can barely see the table from where they're standing. All right, thumbs are closed. A little bit of jostling. Hands are closed. Here we go. Oh, wow. Side pressure. Like a high hook from Josh Bellin has driven through Rick Heidebrecht's defenses here, and he's gone straight through for a pin. This position, just a very, very powerful man. And to do that is usually a sign that you are the stronger man in this competition. It's going to be a significant change to the setup for Heidebrecht if he is going to avoid that happening again. If somebody is that dominant in their hand and wrist, you're going to have to find a different path, because that was a powerful shot right through there. He's taking up a lead 1-0 over Heidebrecht. So Bellin is up 1-0 over Heidebrecht in this right arm match. And they are starting in strap. Okay, so that is an adjustment that Heidebrecht has made here. Maximus Decimus. Absolutely. Absolutely pumped rotten. All right. Are you watching the event, Fox? Or are you just listening to what I'm saying? The big shag nasty. Okay. All right. The strap has been applied. Thumbs are closed. Hands closed. No start, though. I think somebody moved the hand as they were about to start. I don't think it was Heidebrecht. It looks like he's going high for a low hand top roll here. It's high for a top roll. He's tried to get it, and he's unable to get it. He's scooped really deep. He's 1 inch from the pad. It's come back to the center. Bellin has surged again. Heidebrecht has brought his shoulder round. They're stuck in the center inside. They're still in that position. Bellin has tried to pronate there. They're both sitting in that press position. We saw Connor Sale and Matt King in at Arm Gods. and Heydrich has used his body weight to get into position to drive through and get a press pin, and he has got the pin there. Wow, great adjustment from Heydrich. Amazing, amazing effort there. We saw Bellin trying every which way to get around. He tried to pronate through with a top roll. He tried to press. He tried a high hook. He tried getting wrist position, and Heydrich able to defend all of those, keep the match coming back to the center over and over. And there was a lot of surging back and forth, but he managed to get into the right spot and drive through for a pin. Now, the promoter's out actually talking to the competitors about something right now. Looks like he's waving like a restart or something. I'm not sure what was said there. I might just put the volume up for a second so I can hear what's going on. Looks like the okay. So it looks like Bellin asked for a video replay saying that his wrist wasn't pinned, but on the replay, it is a very obvious pin. So that should be still a 1-1. I think they're just going through the formalities of that now. It's one of those things with the pin pad, and we had this once with the SA Titans Club. So say that's the pin pad there, and his wrist was like this. This is the issue that we had, and the competitor was saying, I didn't get pinned, like my forearm hit the pad, but my wrist was still above the pin line. And on review, that was correct. But in this one, that's what Bellin's team thought had happened, that his wrist was still above the pin line, but it was significantly underneath. And so it was the correct call. They've just reviewed that with the video system there. A very handy tool to be able to have that. So promoter came out, made sure that that was the correct call. We've reviewed your complaint, and the decision has been made that Bellin actually did get pinned. Very quickly that happened. That's fantastic. Great to see. That was seconds after the pin took place. So obviously a protest from Bellin's team there, and it was investigated, reviewed, and the decision made within 2 minutes, which is fantastic to see. So it is currently 1-1, and we are getting the strap applied at the moment. A right good Tumwomben. Tumwomben. Bloody hell. Big Rick poked him in the eye there. Did you see that? No, no. All right. They're applying the strap. They have undone the strap and they are restarting it. I'm not sure why, but I think they were having issues getting it in the correct position. Both guys are enormous. These are probably the two biggest men I've seen on an arm wrestling table. I don't know if they're both close to 7 feet, but they are humongous men. The referee looks like my daughter trying to referee one of our matches. Compared to these guys, it is enormous men getting lined up here. The strap is being applied once again. The hands are ginormous, so maybe the strap was not quite long enough to be able to reach. There's this much left of the strap at the end. All right, we're about to get a start here. Bellin looks like he's going to be back pressuring. Thumbs it down. Hands are closed. They're both stuck in the center. Bellin is back pressuring into he's changed it into a press. Heydrich is holding with his bicep. He's brought it back to the center. Bellin is trying to muscle his way through. He's bringing the shoulder back around. He's in a sort of a hook position, but he's using a lot of side pressure here. He's being pulled back to the center by Heydrich. Heydrich, very comfortable, a smile on his face. I think there was some sort of elbow foul. We're getting the stop in the action. They're getting spoken to by the referee. I'm not sure who elbow fouled there, but whether it was an elbow foul, I'm not sure what the call is, but they are getting a restart. But Bellin trying very hard to get through with pure power, and it's almost like he's just relying on his side pressure and his ability to sort of push down into somebody else's forearm. But Heidebrecht being powerful enough to handle that, using his bicep and his hand strength. They're in the match now. They're both set in the middle. They've gone inside. Both stuck in the center in a hook position. Neither man getting an advantage. Josh Bellin is trying to get his shoulder behind, but Rick is using a lot of back pressure. Looks very comfortable. Both guys' elbows popping up and down, which is absolutely fine on this table. Josh now trying to post up to get height. They're both stuck inside. Rick Heidebrecht is using more back pressure, looks more comfortable. Bellin working very, very hard, trying to post up. He's getting pulled out of position. He's so far away from his hand, and he gets pinned. And Rick Heidebrecht has moved up 2-1 in this match against Josh Bellin. Great match, great round there. Both guys fighting incredibly hard. Rick looking very comfortable throughout. I think he knew he had the right position, and he just had to wait it out and defend against Bellin's massive hits. And Bellin, to his credit, hit about 12 different ways, trying to find the way through. I was unable to get past the center. Did try bringing his shoulder around, did try dropping back into a top roll, did try pure side pressure, and it was a combination of all three of those movements. But Heidebrecht looking very, very comfortable in all of those spots, just defended everything, waited for his moment, and was able to drive through and get the pin. Rick rolled. Fox April, how big was Ron Barth through the stature? Oh, how big was Ron Barth? Yeah, the stature of the man was impressive. Absolutely. It was great to meet Ron. And when anyone who's been arm wrestling for 42 years, which is how old I am, by the way, 42, he's been arm wrestling my entire life without exaggerating. That is astounding. And to still be at the absolute pinnacle of the sport at the elite level it was an honor to meet him, to talk to him, and to see him compete, and to coach against him. Because Ryan Bowen was obviously going up against Ron, and we knew that it was going to be an incredibly tough match, Ron being an absolute legend of the sport. And yeah, Ryan saying that Ron's side pressure was unrelenting, and it was something he's never experienced before. So, wow. Ron still at the top in the arm wrestling world. Every time he arm wrestles, I'll be happy to watch. Getting it set up for the fourth round. This has been a great battle with Heidebrecht and Bellin here. Hands closed. Heidebrecht sitting in that same spot, looking comfortable, and wow, he didn't waste any time in that round. He drove straight to the pin pad. I think Bellin is maybe gassed out here. Actually, I think that is probably a 3-1. Oh, the referee's talking to them. We might get a restart. We are getting a restart. We're getting a restart for Heidebrecht's. I'm saying that name wrong. I know I am, but I'm going to keep saying it because I've been saying it like that the whole time. Heidebrecht's elbow came off the back of the pad as he got the pin. I'm not sure what we're seeing here now, but whether this is a replay of a previous round or whether they've jumped straight back in, I believe they might have jumped straight back into another match. They have. Okay, so they're in. I don't know what's going on, but right now they're both pulling. It was almost like, oh, wow, that was weird. So we saw the referees conferring about an elbow off the back of the table from Heidebrecht. And then when it's cut back to the normal view, both guys were in a match. And they're in that same position again. I wasn't sure if it was a replay or whether they were actually pulling, but it turns out they were pulling. And Heidebrecht was able to get the pin without his elbow coming off the back of the pad. A great victory for that man. And he is standing so far above the presenter that he is holding the microphone up like this. Huge Ben. Great match. Very powerful match. And yeah, that was match of the night for me so far. Heidebrecht able to work his way through get position and get the victory. And especially after that first round where it looked like he was going to be overpowered by Josh Bellin, but able to turn it around, control the surges that Bellin was able to implement, and use his experience and knowledge and get the pin. And he did that 3 times in a row, actually 4 times in a row. But well done to him. Oh, he's gone for the high five with the wrong hand. Oh, that'll be a great little gift there. Sorry, that just made me laugh. All right. We're about to see the next match. I'm just going to put the volume up so I can hear it. This is the females matchup, I believe. Yes, Heidi is being introduced at the moment, and she will be taking on Jocelyn. All right. Put the volume up again so I can hear that. But yes, we had Jocelyn on the Arm Wrestling Buzz podcast yesterday, day before, 2 days ago. And she went 11-0 in a round robin, including wins over Sarah Bachman. So she is on an absolute tear at the moment, and she gets to showcase her skill set once again against a fantastic opponent in Heidi. Rick was built, not born. Wow. Fox, if you just want a t-shirt that bad, I'll send you one. All right. Jocelyn is coming out to the table now. Incredibly powerful lady. She's bench pressing 180 kilos at 405 pounds, which is absolutely insane. The most I've ever done is 140, which is 315. So when I heard that she was doing 40 kilos more than I was immensely impressed, not only with that, but her arm wrestling skills as well. They're both starting outside of strap here. We're about to get started. Very serious look on both ladies' faces. All right, fighting for the grip. Jocelyn not happy with the grip. She's ripping her hand outside of Heidi Corden's hand. Again, she's done the same thing. I think they're going to have to go to the referee's grip here because neither lady is going to give each other anything. Jocelyn did say that she is implementing a game where she doesn't care if people like her anymore. They've started. Wow. Outside of strap, Heidi has managed to top roll Jocelyn. She got the pin. However, she got an elbow foul at the same time. That was a quick start. Referee basically put his hands there, and then it was on. Heidi was able to roll through Jocelyn's wrist very comfortably. So Jocelyn gets away with one there, gets to know and feel Heidi's power, and she's going to have to make the adjustment here. They're getting gripped up again by the referee. He's got his hands on theirs, getting a warning. Jocelyn is getting a warning there from the referee for something. About to get the start. Needs to straighten the wrist, says the referee. Heidi is arguing with the referee. Now Jocelyn's arguing with the referee. Referee looks like he's about to start them. And they've started. We've got another elbow foul on Heidi. And we've got a win to Jocelyn. 2 fouls. Okay. No. The referee has called it a win. Then he's corrected himself and said that it is 2 fouls. I believe there's a 3 foul system in play. So, wow, that was a massive elbow foul. Oh, the elbow came up about that much. So I believe that Heidi is on 2 fouls at the moment, and it must be a 3 foul system. The referee must have forgotten as he gave the win to Jocelyn and then remembered that there's a 3 foul system in play and said, "Oh, wait, no, hang on." All right, we started again, and again, we're getting an elbow foul from Heidi. Jocelyn frustrated, hitting the pad. Not sure why she's frustrated because she has got the victory there. because you don't want to see 3 elbow fouls from your opponent. You'd rather get some actual pulling in, but she is up 1-0 because of it. 3 elbow fouls in a row from Heidi Cordner. All 3 of the rounds, Heidi's going for that top roll. The last 2 pulls, it did look like they were about to slip, and it was an elbow foul before a slip was able to occur for Heidi. She's being spoken to in her corner at the moment, but she'll need to make the adjustment there. Maybe she needs to start in the strap, because it looks like regardless as to what sort of start they're going to get, they're going to end up in the strap if she's not able to keep her elbow down and not foul. House of fouling elbows. That was a significant foul. That was a foul about that much. But that's good that they're the sort of fouls that get called, not the micro ones where you can't even see it on a replay. All right, both girls getting lined up again. They haven't gone to strap. They're going outside again. This would be interesting to see if Heidi can make the adjustment and not elbow foul. She looks like she's getting the wrist. They've started and they've ended up slipping, so they will go to the strap. I believe, actually, if you slip once, all the rest of the match will start in strap regardless. So both girls trying to top roll, and that's exactly what happens when you get 2 top rollers. Both hands going opposite directions, and they just come apart. So strap is being applied now. But it does look like Heidi is getting the better of Jocelyn when the match starts, in terms of being able to roll into Jocelyn's fingers. Whether or not the strap will make a difference, whether Jocelyn will continue to try to battle her in a top roll position, or whether she'll want to go inside, we'll find out in a second. The strap has been applied. Referee is tightening it now. Not seeing a lot of back pressure from Jocelyn. She's sort of in a neutral position. Maybe she's got a lot of faith in her hand. Cordner is fighting back and forth. Hard to see where her weight is sort of sitting, because she's moving a lot. Neither girl able to get a grip they're happy with. Referee struggling to get them started. Hands are closed. They're about to start. There we go. And there you go, Jocelyn. Way too strong off that start. She got the position she needed. She rolled straight through with a top roll. Didn't even hit the pad, actually. There's the pad there. She drove straight, almost down. There's not that much of a gap between her and the actual pad. But very strong, dominant victory for Jocelyn there. She's moved up 2-0. Looking very powerful. It's going to be interesting to see if Cordner can make any adjustments, because she's not going to be able to start outside of strap now. She's going to be locked into the strap for the rest of the match. Interesting with the setup there. Both ladies moving a lot with closed hands. The referee is different to every other match that has started, especially with the strap. Usually, in every other match, you've seen both athletes are sitting with their hands open while the referee applies the strap. Strap gets tightened, and then they'll go closed thumbs, closed hands, and start. With this, the ladies had their hands closed pretty much the whole time, and there were a lot of sort of carving and moving and wiggling and manipulations taking place. The referee put his hands on both of them. As soon as he sort of felt that they were in line with each other, he started the match. Not different to the way that the other matches have been taking place. Oh, they're actually starting outside of strap here, so that rule has not been implemented here. They're about to get started, and they've slipped. Gone to the strap. Both top rolling. It's exactly what happens when you get 2 top rollers. You can imagine it. Their hands have come apart instantly. So we're going to get to the strap. I thought that was one of the things that the promoter was talking about, going straight to the strap. If you do get a slip, the rest of the matches will be in strap, but maybe they've made an adjustment. There does seem to be some differences in this match, the way that it's being refereed compared to the others. Imagine if Acme made arm wrestling tables. That'd be amazing. It'd probably explode halfway through. It'd be constantly exploding just when you don't want them to. All right, the ladies are getting strapped together here. So what's starting with the hand closed? So weird. All right. Jocelyn has her hand in the position she wants. Referee asking her to open her hand. She's not opening it. Now she has. Okay. Other referee has made the cardinal sin of standing directly in front of the camera so we can't see what's happening. Oh, they've taken the strap completely off. All right. We've got a yell from Heidi about that. A yell of fury to fire herself up about the strap being removed. I don't very happy about the strap being removed. I don't know. Maybe she's trying to fire herself up here. She's down 2-0. She needs a victory in this round. She's going to stay in this match. Strap is still being applied. The down ref is actually grabbed hold of both ladies' hands and making them stay open. Okay. Referee has tightened the strap right now. And Jocelyn's already closed her hand. Heidi's now closed hers. You're about to get a start. You've got to start. Wow. Jocelyn too strong, overpowering Heidi. Both fought a little bit in the center for that top roll position. Jocelyn too strong, able to use her body weight and momentum and drove through. Bend the wrist back to Heidi. And drove all the way through. Heidi holding on strong right in that last third, 2 inches from the pad, able to slow it down, but not able to stop the momentum. Jocelyn able to get the pin. She wins this 3-0 with a very dominant victory. The last 2 rounds, she was able to get the top roll pin. And the first round, there was 3 fouls from Heidi, unfortunately. Maybe it's making adjustments to the table. It's one thing to practice on it, but to get into a super match, maybe she wasn't ready for the adjustment, and her elbow sort of dropping all over the place. I did see it come up, come off the back. Unfortunately, she was not able to contain it in that first round, but in the second and third, it was all Jocelyn. She was able to roll through. Still here, hopping on the cable pulley machine, some reps. All right. Glad you're still with us, Fox. We've got 12 people watching. If you're here, say hello. So it's not just Fox and me. I'd love to hear anybody else that's either watching the event or enjoying what pictures I'm managing or trying to paint for you verbally. But if you're here, I'd love you to say hello. We'd love to know who's watching and interact with anybody that's in the chat. It's always fun. And you're probably hearing that. So let me turn that volume down. Find out what the next match is. We've rolled through these fairly steadily. It looks like Brandon ELLSESSOR is walking to the table. This may be the main event, ladies and gentlemen. This might be the last match on the card. Brandon ELLSESSOR returning to the table after having a left arm match victory, a very cruisy victory earlier. And he will be going against the legend Alan Ford. We'll see if that's this match. I'm hoping that this is this match. It is Alan. All right. So this is the main event. We've got Alan Ford versus Brandon ELLSESSOR in a right arm match. I don't know if it's first to 3. I would like the fact that if they've got the main event, then they might do first to 4. I always prefer first to 4. Drew says they did say they would be making the matches go by quicker. It's good to hear. Absolutely. Yeah, I think this would have finished a while ago if it wasn't for the technical issues that they've been facing throughout. But the flow has been very quick. Right? They are starting outside of straps here, getting gripped up now. Hands are closed, and they've flipped. That's great. The Drew, are you watching this event or are you just listening? All right, Brandon ELLSESSOR back to the table. Got a mouth guard in for Alan Ford. Some of the athletes do wear the mouth guard because they're clamping their teeth so much under pressure. Clever move. I have done a I've already broken my teeth in the gym because of that reason. My teeth are now plastic. I'm not kidding either. All of these are plastic. 'Cause I crunched so hard, I popped my teeth. Alright, the strap is being applied. Brandon lifting his elbow up, trying to get height. Alright, Bart Wood is the referee here. They're about to close the thumbs. Just making sure the right, thumbs are closed, hands are closed. We've started. High posting top roll from Brandon ELLSESSOR. He's held the surge. He's did elbow foul on his surge. He's driving to the pin pad. He's got Alan Ford's wrist bent back, and he's driven to the pad, and he's got a pin. I'm not sure if there's a foul being called or whether it was running foul. Yes, there is a foul. Elbow foul call from the referee. I think it was a running foul, which is great. I love running fouls. Keep the action going. So it's a restart. Thumbs are closed, hands are closed. Brandon hitting that same high posting top roll. He's bending Alan's wrist back. Alan's shaking his head, but he has lost his wrist position by about an inch. They're stuck in the middle of the table. Brandon has a very high position. He's probably an inch over Alan's hand. Alan looking comfortable, but his hand is busted back. He's trying to bring his shoulder forward. Brandon surging forwards, transitioning into a press. He's dropped his wrist. He's lost his wrist, but he has gotten through for a pin. Brandon ELLSESSOR, he's up 1-0. Alan Ford frustrated. Probably felt he was in a good spot there. And the change of pressure going from backwards pressure with the top roll to a flop wrist direct downwards pressure from Brandon ELLSESSOR. Very veteran move there, and that was able to get him the pin. So obviously, the defense of Allen was sort of compromised a little bit. His wrist was kicked back about half an inch. He was able to hold everything that Brandon was throwing at him, but then the transition with Brandon's hand is flopped and he's gone straight downwards, which is more of a hammer curl resistance that you need to engage. Whereas if you're doing that on the fly and not realizing that that pressure is about to come and you're giving absolutely everything in that direction with pronation to try to defend against the top roll and then the pressure goes down, that's how Brandon ELLSESSOR was able to get the pin there. So high level IQ arm wrestling. Brandon ELLSESSOR up 1-0 over Alan Ford. Fox 8 Ball says, let's go 40 boy. The Drew says he's listening. I'll be delivering orders also. Too poor. Okay. I appreciate what you're doing, Matt. Would really like you to get to 1,000 subs. Well, thank you very much, sir. I would appreciate that too. Not sure how I feel about the flop wrist. Yeah, I'm not. I don't usually flop wrist unless I'm put there. Yeah, but it worked out for Brandon in that first round. He did transition for a traditional press, and then it's almost like his wrist got sort of kicked back as he did that. He's going, "Oh, well, screw it, I don't care. I'm gonna dump my wrist, and I'm just gonna go straight down," which is what he did, and it worked out for him. But yeah, it's sort of a glass cannon approach, isn't it? Because you're either gonna get the pin or you're going to lose absolutely everything. So both guys are in the strap. They've got their thumbs closed, hands closed. Brandon getting hand position in a top roll. He's kicked Alan's wrist back an inch again. Alan's come forward with his shoulder. He's trying to press, but he's probably 6 inches away from his hand. He's not in a good position to be able to press there. He's tried to switch back to a top roll very quickly, but Brandon giving a big smile. He knew what was going on there, and Brandon has driven Alan straight to the pad for a 2-0 victory. Win of that round. 2-0, Brandon ELLSESSOR is up. Alan Ford sitting in a sort of like he was trying to work for a press, but his hand was so far away from his shoulder. He sort of pushed a little bit, and then he's tried to transition into a top roll, which didn't move anywhere. Brandon ELLSESSOR giving a wry smile as he drove Alan straight to the pin pad. He is up 2-0 in this match, and I think it's a first to 3. It might be a first to 4, but if he gets the next round, he will be the victor. Beer man Evan Burgoyne is in Alan's corner. He is working hard on his arm. Looks like he's telling Alan to go inside. He wants Alan to drag this into a hook war. He has been losing his wrist every time he's gone to go high with Brandon. Brandon's setting up very high, able to get that 1 inch. That's all he needs is that half an inch, 1 inch, and he can use his power to dominate where the match is taking place. So he can drag over to his side. Alan using his skill and his integrity of his elbow to sort of sit in a defensive position, almost like a press, but he was so far away from his hand. That's why he tried to drop back into that top roll, but his hand not going with his body, him getting extended and being driven to the pad. The story of that was Brandon absolutely knowing what Alan was trying to do with that initial move, that burst, and the big smile as he drove Alan's arm straight to the pad. Hitman getting whacked. Yeah. At the moment, it is indeed Brandon ELLSESSOR who is in the lead significantly. It seems to be on the start that he is winning the first 2 to 3 inches with a very high posted top roll that's giving him that half an inch of cup that he needs. And then he can surge to get the first third, and then he can start working from his positioning there. And Alan is out of position almost immediately after the go. I can see why Beerman is telling Alan to go inside to change the direction of the match, because he's getting beaten in the rise and the height that ELLSESSOR is laying down. They're at the table at the moment. We've got the strap being applied. Evan Burgoyne running back and forth from coaching duties to commentary duties. He did say then, I believe he said that he told Alan to get his shoulder in. Maybe he's going to be going for a press, but in the setup, looks like Alan's taking some deep breaths. His shoulder is not really in a position where it looks like he's going to press. Maybe he's going to be jumping in on that, trying to not give it away to Brandon. Well, the poster banner in the background has just fallen over, but it's all right. They've fixed that. All right, they're about to get started. Thumbs are closed. Hands are closed. Early start from both, but getting them to restart their position. Hands are open again. Thumbs are closed. Here we go. We're in a start. Brandon winning the center again. He's used back pressure. He's on his side of the table. They are centered. They have moved into more of a press position for Alan. He is trying very hard to get a press. He's using back pressure. Brandon easily holding it, using a big surge. They've come back to the center 3 times now. Brandon come back to the center, got his shoulder behind, and drove straight through for a press. That is a 3-0 lead for Brandon. I'm not sure if it's a victory or whether it's a first to 4. We'll find out in a second. But yeah, another big smile from Brandon. He knew he was in control there. Yeah, there it is. So it's a 3-0 victory for Brandon ELLSESSOR. Too strong. Winning the center was the key to that match. You could see that Alan Ford's knowledge and table IQ and skill and elbow integrity was keeping him in there. He was using absolutely every trick he knew how to be able to find a path to victory, but unable to. Once he sort of lost that initial center position, Brandon was in control and was able to drive through and catch all of the defensive mechanisms that Alan was trying to implement. Brandon too strong, and yeah, able to get his shoulder behind and get the surge for the final pin. 3-0 for Brandon ELLSESSOR. 2 victories tonight for him. Well done to him. Well done to Brandon ELLSESSOR, and a good showing of Alan Ford's skill set. I don't think you could say that he was the loser in this match in terms of that he just got blown out of the water. He was. There is things that he can do differently, and if he implemented those changes, he may have been in a position to be able to win that match. So well done to Alan Ford, and congratulations to Brandon ELLSESSOR for the pin victory. 3-0. Let's go, Brandon. Yeah, that's great. Oh, Puppy Best. Hello. I didn't see you there. How are you, sir? You've jumped in right at the end of the stream of the Mac stream. We were watching the arm wrestling major arm wrestling championship that was taking place, still going on at the moment. And they've finalized their event. They're thanking the referees. They're bringing out the officials, and Bart Wood has already changed out of his referee shirt. uh, Congratulations to Major Arm Wrestling Championships. They did a fantastic job of the matches themselves. They were played with some technical issues throughout, which, I mean, being their first event, it's always going to be difficult to get everything right. I'm just going to close that off so that I stop watching it and get any distraction. But great to have everyone in here and watching with me. And it's one of those things with this community is that as I was watching Jake Ward earlier doing the prelims and the live stream, and we had about 40 people in there, and I thought, as soon as he goes offline, everyone's going to not have somewhere to sit and talk with each other and can enjoy the event together. I thought, well, I'll go live and give some people the opportunity to jump in and we can chat with each other and enjoy the event together. So I definitely enjoyed having all of you guys in here with me. The Drew, Fox 8 Ball, Puffy Best. We had a lot of the legends that always pop into all the arm wrestling streams, and I do appreciate it immensely. I love when you guys write comments. It really does give me something to talk about or talk to, as opposed to me just sitting here rattling on, not sure if anyone's even caring about what I'm saying. So it is great to have so many amazing people in here. But yeah, let's talk about the event. So overall, several things that could have been improved, could have been done better, but in terms of the matches themselves, they were entertaining. I absolutely loved the fast setups. The different table was interesting. I loved the fact that there was barely any fouls that were called. Most of those fouls that could have been called, they really didn't impact the match. And that is one of the things that we've been pushing with AWE, is make it more fun to watch. And that is what Major Arm Wrestling Championship was able to do. It was fun. It was quick. The setups were fast. The matches were flowing. The only times that they got slowed down was because of technical issues, which would have been out of their hands. So a great job to all of those guys there. There was a couple of squash matches, which, maybe these guys, when they were doing their matchmaking, thought it may have been a closer match. It's one of the things that can be quite difficult, is finding people that are really competitive, and you sort of got to have a couple of events to get to know your pullers and to get to know like how strong somebody is, because you might think, well, this guy's, this will be an incredible match. These guys are going to be really close. And then another dude just crushes him and you're like, oh, okay, he's a lot better than what we thought. So then you might put him against somebody quite a level up and see what happens. And so it's almost like you don't know what you don't know. So the good thing about it is that they've got their first event in the bag. It's completed now. Well done. All the matches took place. They all had a result, that they all flowed very nicely. Once they get the technical issues ironed out, it will be a fun event to be able to watch in the future as well. I love the fact that they're doing different things, that they're pushing it. It feels very similar to the ideas and the movements of what we're trying to do, which I love. Fast starts. Don't call stupid fouls. Start matches in straps. Just have entertainment as your number one sort of priority. You want to have good arm wrestling, but you don't want to have a 20-minute setup to see two guys end up slipping. And that, even as a fan of arm wrestling, you're sitting there like, oh my God. It's like, yeah, it's a frustration. And then when the match actually starts and everything's going great and somebody's about to win, and then the other guy just elbow fouls and they have to restart it all, it's like, what are you doing? Oh, that's the frustration. So yeah, that is almost makes me want to turn the thing off when I see that. I'm like, I almost feel like just, you know, flicking the TV across the room, being like, I can't stand this. This is insane. It just seems so unfair. Anyway, so we don't have that. We don't have that rule. I love the fact that they're also not having that rule. And when they did have a protest, this is another thing I really liked. They did have a protest from Josh Billet, and his team said, "Hey, I don't think his arm went under the pin line." And they had that reviewed and the decision made within 60 seconds. I mean, that was incredible. I didn't even know that they'd made a protest. I just saw the promoter come out and say, "No, you were pinned. We've seen the footage." And they were replaying it as these guys are getting set up for the next round. So, yeah, I loved that. Fantastic. Great job from MAC for that. Fox April, I do like AWE well. Thank you, sir. I'm glad that you like it because we like doing it as well. And from a promoter's perspective and from a personal perspective, the matches we put on, they're matches I want to see. It's like I would like to see Richard Bornman versus this guy, or Brian Bowen versus this guy, or let's put the best guys that we can find in this whole region of the world into a tournament. I want to see that. Let's do that. We've done that. So it's like it's a privilege and a pleasure to be able to see these things take place, especially because it's like I know I'm not going to get to that level. Like my skill set is not at the elite and I won't be able to reach where these guys are. And so from a competitor's standpoint, it's like I won't be able to ever be that, but I can watch it right in front of me and see it take place. These guys that are, so beyond where I could be. It's like it's an absolute privilege. And when you go to an event, like if you go to Arm Gods, or if you go to Knuckles Up, or if you go to AWE or MAC or any of the shows that are out there, you can probably get a pretty bloody good seat and get really close to the action, and you're more than likely going to be able to talk to the guys after the event. You might even be able to get on the table with the guys, which is absolutely insane to think. What other sport is there where you can literally, like, you go to a boxing event and then like see if you can jump on with Floyd Mayweather after the event? See if you can jump in the ring. Yeah, can we just do a few rounds? Yeah, sure. Unbelievable. I just love it. I love it so much. I think it's absolutely fantastic. Fox April says your lads are getting better. If you watch, you see they're progressing. Absolutely. Yeah, the skill in Australia is improving rapidly, and it is such a fantastic thing to see that more and more people are getting involved in the sport of arm wrestling, and we're seeing more clubs popping up around the country. And our club here in Adelaide has grown significantly. We're getting about 40 people coming along every week now to training. When I started, there was 3 of us, and it was on a driveway. And now we're in a community centre. We've got the sponsor. We've got Dave Stockbridge, who is part of the AWE, who looks after the club in terms of sponsorship and helping us out. And, we've been running events and we're getting more and more people interested in arm wrestling. We're doing, I'm going to gyms and I'm doing appearances and stuff and going to schools and just pushing arm wrestling on the internet and everything I can to try to get people interested in this sport, because I think it's, not only is it fun, but the community of people that you get to meet are just wonderful. And one of the things that really made me happy on Sunday just gone, we had our usual training session. After our training session, we always go out afterwards for dinner together, which I think is amazing. Like, there's a big group of us, and I always think it's funny whichever restaurant we choose to go into, because there's like 20 people that walk in, all in arm wrestling shirts, like big forearms, whatever. And we'll sit down, tell jokes, be silly for an hour or two, have dinner. Then we all move on to an ice cream bar, and I bring a whole bag of card games and board games, and we play board games and card games for like 3 hours, and then we'll be there till midnight. This is every week, and I absolutely love it. And it's nothing to do with arm wrestling at that point. It's just that these people, I enjoy spending time with them, and we've created this little community of friends, and there's little offshoot groups of these guys now hang out with these guys. And we had a new member that came along. This is only his second time coming along, and he came out for dinner with us, and we were playing games, and he's playing the card games with us, and I gave him a lift home afterwards, and he said, look, I'm just really happy I met everybody, because I've been quite lonely lately, and I just work and I stay at home, and that's all I've been doing for several years. So to be able to go out and hang out with everybody was an absolute real treat. And I'm like, mate, we're here every week. Every week we are Sundays all throughout the year, whether it's Mother's Day, whether it's New Year's Eve, anything. I'll be at that arm wrestling club and putting my arm on the table for anybody to come up and have a good time. So great community. Love having you guys in here. Thank you, Fox 8 Ball, for all your comments. The match cards with Berserker and Goku. Yeah, absolutely. Oh, they're good fun. That's from the SA Titans Arm Wrestling Club. We always have a great time there. I love filming the matches. And it's one of those other things. Before I wrap everything up, this is another point I would really like to highlight, is that some of the best matches I've ever seen have taken place in local clubs, especially in our local club, the SA Titans, between a couple of people who may be only a few months into arm wrestling, and they absolutely go to war with each other in a super match. And the skill level, yeah, it's not as good. The power level, not as good. But my God, the back and forth battle and the tenacity and the story of the match is some of the best stuff I've ever seen in terms of sporting. And that's across all sports. So it's so good to be able to have the opportunity to see those things. And it's like, man, I'm going to film these and put them out every week so everyone can have a look at it, because it doesn't matter whether you're the best in the world. If it's interesting and it's fun, people will watch it. So, guys like Berserker, guys like Goku, yeah, they're not the best in the country. They're not the best in the state. But when they get on the table, it's bloody fun to watch. And they'll have a back and forth war. So incredible stuff. And congratulations to the Major Arm Wrestling Championship for their event today. So good to have another organization. This is another thing with arm wrestling. The organizations and promotions are popping up all over the place. We're seeing, Knuckles Up has popped up recently. We've seen MAC now. We've got was it AWU or something in Canada? There's or AWC. I don't know. There's a lot of them that are really starting to shoot up all around the world. We're seeing even in Singapore and India and places all around the world. It's like, oh, we've got our own thing. We've got our own thing. We've got our own thing. And it's all arm wrestling, and you could go and watch it for free most of the time. But I bet if you were traveling the world, you could go into nearly any country and find an arm wrestling club, which is just so cool. And yeah, so good to see everyone in here. I will wrap this up in the next minute or two, unless anyone has any final questions. But yeah, it was a great show tonight. If you're just tuning in now, or if you just want a summary of the event, the MAC Championship, the Major Arm Wrestling Championship, took place. They had a whole bunch of different matches that were very entertaining. We saw Jocelyn get a 3-0 victory over Heidi. We saw Brandon ELLSESSOR put his arm down twice and get a victory not only on left but on right as well in the main event over Alan Ford. And we saw some awesome back and forth, a very interesting concept with the new table. Loved the fast setups and the different strap designs, different strap setups. Great job overall. A few technical issues, which hopefully they'll be able to iron out on the next event. But call me a MAC fan, because I think they did a tremendous job. Well done to them, and thank you again, everybody. Oh, we've got Luca here. I'm all about Knuckles Up. I live in New York, and they are in New Jersey, a major promo with top-tier talent. They are doing tremendous things, and I did enjoy their last event. Looking forward to Knuckles Up 4, and hopefully we'll get to see some of our stars like Mario Tembarkis taking another matchup where he is scheduled to appear on Knuckles Up 4, so tremendous to see that. They are getting people from all around the world, and from everything that I've heard, Knuckles Up crew are the best guys in the business in terms of treating their athletes like superstars. So congratulations to them. Always be supportive of any arm wrestling organization that treats their athletes well. And I think that they are the number one in terms of, from what I've heard, everyone that's dealt with them has said that they have been treated magnificently. And Arm Gods, absolutely fantastic. I wouldn't have flown all the way to the other side of the world to Ireland to meet all of you crazy guys and have such a tremendous time and meet wonderful people like Paul Maiden and Marcus Thompson, who run Arm Gods. So yes, hopefully I'll be able to get to another event of theirs in the future. But for now, it's 5 in the morning. I started at midnight, I think. So I'm going to wrap this up. And I say good day to all of you. If it's night, have a good evening. If it's a day, have a good rest